And we are live. We are live. What's up, folks? I appreciate all the AKs that joined up early. I could see some links from other people channels too. So Dre C, Mike 3048, and what's that? W Jamal. Appreciate y'all jumping on early, man. Y'all was waiting for this one. I see that. But without further ado, you guys already know who I am. You know what I mean? Somebody over there got a little alarm going on. But you already know who I am. But I like to introduce two guys who usually I'm on one of their shows, but they've I guess graced me with their presence today, should I say. And I know you guys know about the debates we've been having on Twitter. It's all in cowboy fun, should I say. But there's definitely debates in regards to, the way this off season is going, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But first, let me introduce Boss Cowboy. For those who don't know, make sure you guys are on Boss Cowboys on whatever networks and platforms. I'll let him tee that up, but whatever platforms you want to be followed on, you let them know which ones. And then Lou takes. This is my first time actually being on a show with Lou, but he follows and I follow him quite a bit. I watch him a lot on Twitter or X, but we've never been on a show together. If I
It's your first time for real?
I think we might have been on one on Boss's channel before.
We did
never,
Mozzie.
Yeah, never here.
Oh, we did Mozzie film, right?
Yeah.
But never here and never on his channel yet. But I follow him, and we've been going back and forth on you know what I mean, because of the Max Crosby conversation. And honestly, I'll let you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves first. Then we'll get into the conversation. We'll go from there. Foots is supposed to be on here. I called Foots and I texted him. I think Foots is out with the family right now. So, I mean, Foots got the link, and you already know. He just said, he said, yo, you sent the link? Yeah. Hold on. X. All right, so Foots should jump in here in a second. He just asked me for the link, so he should be around. So Foots will jump on in a minute too. But
I just love the fact that, man, obviously, that we able to get together and really just kind of hash out this type of stuff. So
right.
I'm about Show Me, and all my platforms is under Boss Cowboy Sports on all the social medias, the Instagrams, the Twitters, the Facebook, the everywhere, man. So this is a very important conversation because this is about the future of the Dallas Cowboys, and potentially, in my opinion, the Couriers is rallying together as much as possible. But that first comes with likely trying to get on the same page. I think it's a noble thing that we do, like in terms of being willing to kind of face each other when we disagree. Because I want to say this first before I ever disagree with a Koya.
We disagree all the time, though, bro.
No, I was gonna say the opposite. I was gonna actually say the opposite.
I'm saying when we do every year we disagree about something, not everything.
On something,
but we always
yeah,
got
on
point
something,
a player,
yeah.
somebody,
a player
every season that we go and disagree about.
But we do good to me because, like, when it's film related, we come together fast and we go agree on what we see. So, like, we never kind of fight on stuff like that for long because the film is gonna be both of our kind of ultimate evidence. This is more kind of like philosophy. This is kind of like team build, where we get a chance to kind of talk about the differences in that strategy. So I'm interested in today.
Correct. Same here, man. And the way I look at it like this, I say this in a certain way because it sounds like I don't want it to sound wrong because people be thinking I'm saying it like I won't watch everything that y'all do. I try not to when I'm making a video watch you first, or Lou, or Vach, or Foots, or Law, any of you guys, right? Because of respect. So I never want to look like I'm trying to shed shade on something or take that you guys make. So to avoid that, so I know I'm fresh, I will not watch y'all before I do a piece. I won't. And then when I do one based off of what I'm looking at, people will at me and say, well, so said, or they'll start telling me whatever the narrative is that they're on. And that probably comes from either a piece that you guys have done, because we all have our own influences and so on. But people start doing that, and then people think that I'm trying to debunk something, and I'm not. I'm just seeing what I see, and it's a different perspective. But if it happens to collide with something that you guys have said, I have to take that, on the chin and just do it anyway. Because before, when you guys started seeing inactivity, it'd be because I'm like, oh, Vach said so and so. I don't agree, but I don't want to say nothing because I'm like, now I look like I'm attacking you, and I don't want to do that. So I say that first to let everybody, not only you guys know, but let everybody in the chat know, it's like, I'm not making counter culture content, and I'm not trying to be a contrarian. Some of the things I'm saying maybe it's lost in translation, or I just flat out might not agree with certain things that's going on or certain things that's said. But it's not like, oh, Lou said this. Let me see if I can, rip into what he doing. Or same thing with Boss. You guys already know that. Boss know because Boss will call me. We have long ass conversations about all kinds of content or just life. You know what I mean? But I just say that not really to you two. Or Lou, you kind of learning me. I'm learning you. But I'm saying it's really to the fans and everybody out there. This isn't a counterculture or clickbaity type of debate thing that we do here. Is really, and that's why I like it. Everybody's coming out authentically and putting their best foot forward. And that's why I think that although our fan base is a little crazy with me sometimes, they are crazy to me. Like I love football. The fans don't love me all the time, but I'm okay with that. But although we have that, I'm not the type that's like sitting to try to have shock jock type of content against anyone. This is just how we do, and we're all trying to be as authentic as possible when we do that. So I want to say that first. All right. I was trying to like delay because Foots just asked for the link and I know I sent it to him.
Yeah,
Let me give him one more.
And while you doing that, did you have something, Luke? Because I was
Oh no.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate you, welcome me on your platform and everything like that. But yeah, I agree. Because I think a lot of people do get this, lost in translation and think we do this for entertainment. No, it's we just, men who do research and every work. We play our role within this community. Whether like it or not, people will see that. And once we see the work and everything like that, like once I'm firm and I see it, all of us are not afraid to like box 1v3000. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's what make us. That's what make us.
And I think we honestly like the fight too. Like that's. I think that's what us three got in common. Is like
I was just sparring yesterday. Man.
You see what I'm saying?
I smile when I get punched in the face.
Yeah.
So you already know, man. But yeah, for sure, it's definitely coming from that angle. And Foots just texted me. He out with his son for his birthday. So let's say happy birthday, baby Foots, and let Foots do his thing. So Foots is excused today, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll go from there. But yeah, for sure, y'all. Like y'all already know. But without further ado, man, I guess since it's my channel, I'll lead and we'll go from there. Right. But tell me, like the conversation that we've been having in the offseason from a perspective of pass rush has been going on all over Twitter or X, and then all over YouTube as well. And I haven't really been privy to it because I was away for a second. When I came back, I said, all right, everybody's asking about Max Crosby because after the Max Crosby physical that didn't go well, everybody was asking like, what do you think about Max Crosby? So what I thought after that, and I started making content on it, was like, hey, I mean, it'd have been great if we get him. Sure, why wouldn't I want Max Crosby on the team? It would be great if we can get him, but I wouldn't sell my soul for him, nor do I care to get him now after I hear about the knee. It's like, okay, he's 31. We're going to have to pay a pretty penny for him. And to give up our first round picks, one position in which we at 12, where we had gotten Micah Parsons in 2021 with that same pick, right? So I'm like, I wouldn't give up my picks to get him. Now, when I said that, I didn't know where the picks idea came from. I didn't know that you guys had floated the idea of getting Max Crosby for picks and so on. So that's where the conversation started. But when we went into pass rush and I started looking at the teams that recently won Super Bowls, like your Seattle Seahawks, you had KC, the last 3 years, none of those teams had an elite pass rusher on it. Now, when I say pass rusher, I'm speaking specifically from the edge. Because I do think elite, balanced pass rush is necessary, especially, overall for the team and from your interior, especially. But when I have an interior pressure player, whether it be a 3-tech or a 1-tech, I don't look at that necessarily as a pass rusher. So when I'm saying pass rusher, I'm talking about edge rushers. Yeah. So let's specify, because I know you had given examples about like Chris Jones. And when you're saying Chris Jones, are we talking about anything interior? I'm in full agreement. That's what I think we have here in Quinnen Williams. So I don't disagree with that. But that's where the conversation started, should I say? But I'll allow, and I guess I'll go to Boss first with this. Like, catch me up to speed with where you are from a stance, because I don't know everything you've put out over the last couple of weeks. I watched 2 videos to prepare for this, but where did you begin this diatribe when it comes to how or what we need in regards to this season and this upcoming season? Like, what position are you standing on when it comes to pass rusher, and then namely Max Crosby, and why is this such a hot topic for everybody in the space?
It's divisive for me because I floated out the idea of potentially being open to trade Pickens for Crosby. So that alone, yeah, just kind of started a mutiny in the space. Uh, and
Oh, you
I
know I'm gonna
still,
get you for that. Go ahead. Go ahead though. My bad.
yeah, I mean, we can take that one, but that's kind of in the past. But one of the main
All
things
right.
where it really started with was the trade deadline because we were trying to get better and we was looking for ways
Okay.
to kind of get better. So we was looking at a lot of different people. So did a lot of film work in the public, similar to how you do, right? Where we except a little bit more naked, like where we just
Right.
put no bells and whistles on it. We sit there and let that thing cook the hard way.
That's
So
right.
we looked at, yeah, that's the coach's way. So
Yes.
we did that with Crosby, we did that with Trey, we did that with multiple people, Simmons out of Tennessee. So we was basically just combing through the trade options. So that's what kind of got my eyes on Crosby for the first time. Like, oh my God, like it was like that, bro. Like,
Right.
and we film guys. So
Right.
so like I turned on game one, me and Lou, we scouting, right?
Mhm.
So I'm looking at it and I'm seeing two tight ends shaded. I'm seeing a running back shaded.
Mhm.
I'm seeing him whooping ass from play 1 through 6 consistently, right?
Yeah.
Until I say, hold on, let me make sure I ain't got it on precious, right? Because I'm like, this dude is killing every play,
Right.
right? Just make a long story short, we went through about 8 games, bro.
Mhm.
8. So you already know the threshold is 6 when you scouting. We went to 8.
Mhm.
So it was like, okay, this dude is an absolute monster. Like tackles for loss, crazy,
Everything.
sacks, crazy.
Mhm.
They slant to him like they slant to Micah. So
Mhm.
that's what started kind of like the Crosby to answer your question.
Right.
So then this come around, I was on some F picks, like, like what guy at 12 is gonna be him, you know?
Micah
So,
Parsons.
but there's no Michael Parsons in this draft class, you
I
know.
mean, well, not yeah. You got a point. Go ahead. But I'm talking. Well, not a pass rusher, right?
If
But there
Michael
might be someone
Parsons
that's a
in this draft
generational
class, we
talent
got
that
a
you know that you
conversation.
get. Right.
We got a conversation, but he's
Mhm.
not.
Right.
So that's why I said in this draft class, it's nobody that's him.
Mhm.
So get rid of it. You know what I'm saying? Let's get better now. That's a bird in hand. Let's go. And then when I floated that Pickens thing, it kind of got a little bit messy. But then, I moved to team both of them. Let's just have a short window of
Right.
contention. Because I was one of the 5-year window. I shortened it to 2 or 3. Like
Mhm.
you ain't gonna be able to keep everybody. If you do that, you gonna blow it up fast. But
Mhm.
that was my compromise to keep Pickens, and
Right.
to even stop the fighting. So that's where everything came from. And so then when you blew in from a standpoint of, um, run stopping, is the key to championships, which
Mhm.
to a degree I agree with. So
Right.
that's kind of where everything came from.
Okay. And well, I appreciate that too, boss. And I'll circle back to that, but I wanted to hit Lou first, and then we'll get into the
Yeah.
discussion, right? But
Yeah.
Lou, so from your standpoint, I know you guys watched the film together for this, like boss was saying, but I don't want him to speak for you, so I want to hear like from your point of view as well. Like, where are you right now in regards to free agency? Where this team is right now in the off season, and how, and like catch me up to speed from Super Bowl or the end of the playoffs, wherever you were, and how you were thinking in regards to what this team is to now, and how did we get to a point where, after watching the pickups from the front office, PJ Locks, the Kobe Durant's, Rashawn Gary, who's going to be a hot topic. After watching these pickups or these signings and trades, right? Why do you feel that we're still left wanting an elite pass rusher at this point?
Mm.
And what makes you feel that, because and then let me ask both of you, because I don't know if this is your
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah.
Do you think that if we don't get, and this is where the debate is for me, it's not so let's make this clear before you start, Lou. Would I take Max Crosby? Do I want Max Crosby?
Yes.
Why wouldn't I want Max Crosby? I'm not
Right.
crazy, right?
Right.
Max Crosby's great. Do I think he necessarily fits the scheme? I don't, because of what Parker said about, or what I heard they said about Clowney, which is, we don't want another guy that's a true defensive end, hand down guy. We want a guy that can stand up outside. Although I think Max Crosby is an exception where you probably could say he could do it anyway in a 2-point stance. But that's what they said. So that's why I said maybe he doesn't fit the scheme. And even Oaks' departure as well makes me think that. But so the question is, do you guys think that if we don't land an elite pass rusher, we're going to suck this year and next or whatever, right? That's what the debate is.
Yeah, that's perfect.
It's
Go ahead,
not,
Lou, and then I'm
do I
next.
think Max will be better? I'm not crazy.
I'm ready to jump on that one. Let's get it.
Yeah, like I can start from where, so I can start from hiring Parker. Like I think they knocked it out of the park, in terms of the whole hiring process and the guys that were left, and finally getting Parker in the building. Me hearing his scheme, Steven, for one, like when he speaks, when Jerry and them speak, and they speak on anything football related, I know they have trusted advisors telling them true information. So when he says Vic Fangio with a twist, light bulb went out in my brain. Then I fast forward, we get to the draft of combine. Now he's sitting down with 105.3 the fan. Now he had the press conference. He's revealing more and more about his scheme, and it's sounding more and more like Vic Fangio. Like it's I still don't know what the twist is, but it's going to be a copy of Vic Fangio. So I would say to answer your question, where Max Crosby came into the equation, of course, at the trade deadline, it was names floating around. It was a huge dead cap, so it wasn't going to work. But just like anything of positional value, when something of value becomes available, I am intrigued, and we have it. Knowing that we have this short window with Dak, I want to go all in as much as possible. So to answer your question, like, do we need a elite pass rusher? No, elite, no, but we're gonna need somebody that definitely gonna have to be substantial. I will say that because my whole thing, I keep going back to the scheme with that. I've done research on 30 years of Vic Fangio, and I found one key correlation. Vic Fangio scheme, like in terms of ranking, in terms of team defense and scoring, wasn't top in the league unless he had elite edge production. I'm talking about guys.
You said it right this time. Oh, go ahead.
I've been saying it. I've been
production. Go ahead.
Production. Like, but you got to get that with guys. Because at the end of the day, he runs a too high shell.
Is gonna be brothers.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. He runs a too high shell. He keeps two on the roof. Football's a numbers game. You know what I'm saying? Right. They want to stop the run with at least 6 to 7 guys, 6 at the most, which means we're going to be mostly pass rushing with 4. So everybody, one of them 3, 4. We need to be making sure them the best possible guys we put there on the field, because they're going to be
4
or 2 of them 4 got to be some of the best. You know what I'm saying, in Memphis on this planet
that win, because
this scheme is not going to be maximized unless we can get there. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that's true with Fangio and his lieutenants, or I like to call it the disciples. They had the same exact effect. So, Mike, we have multiple options. We're gonna get into that, but I will say this scheme, because it's a literally, I would say it's a kinfolk or kin to Matt Eberflus' scheme. If we don't have pass rushes, it's not going to be the same as last year, but we are not going to be, I would say, like as productive enough to be a contender.
Okay. And let me jump in real quick to also piggyback on his question of, do you think we're going to suck without an elite pass rush? Suck is a strong word. I wouldn't go as far as to say suck. I will say that we won't be optimized, especially when you look at the history of Vic and how his defense got off with a lead pass rusher or productive, to your point. So we're aiming high. That's the whole point of going after Crosby, because it's like go after the best that they can be, where you basically kind of just slant that to just unstoppable categories, where you have Q out there with him. Those are two unstoppable forces when you have both of them out there. It's the scariest thing in the last 20 years. But on the other end, that's also just as scary, to answer your question. There was a trend that Lou didn't talk about, that when he had a committee of guys in his history, that also made his overall ranks drop dramatically, So when I'm looking at it from a team building standpoint historically, and that's why, all of us, me, Okoye, Lou, all of us, we're pattern people, So when we see patterns, some people might ignore it. We don't shake that. And I'm not gonna go as far as suck, but it makes me want to aggressively address it.
I mean, so that leads me to this point, right? Because I agree with you to a degree, right? You have to get pressure. You have to affect the quarterback. I'm not crazy, but to me, just playing football and just watching sports my whole life, watching football. My whole family's a football family, and it's not a credential thing I'm laying. I'm just saying the old adage that always has been true, and I think it still is the first thing you got to do if you want to eat on third down is stop the run, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So of course I understood the mindset thinking like, hey, we need to make sure we address run first, and to have a front five right now, and you could really say a front six if you count Morris Leafile being on the edge as a rotational guy as well. But you got 6 guys up front who can just flat out stop the run right now. Most teams will slant. Even last year I would say Seattle had a bunch of guys too that could do it. But most teams have 1 or 2 guys on their defense that's just flat out dogs versus the run. We had it for a while with DeMarcus Lawrence, right? Where you could slant the defense away from him. Everybody else is really like a pass rusher, except for what's the dude? Jonathan Hankins. Hankins was a good run stopper too. So when we had Hankins and D-Law, those were our run stoppers at that time. You couldn't run towards Hankins in the A gap, and you didn't want to run outside towards D-Law. You ran away from him. And when they started running at Micah, are targeting and double teaming Osa. That's what they started doing to us, right? So that's usually the way teams are set up, and the way we were set up. But having a team where all across the board, all 5 of those guys can just flat out stop. If you look at Rashawn Gary's edge setting percentages and his run stopping grade and all that, Rashawn Gary a beast at stopping the run. He's a DeMarcus Lawrence type, but not DeMarcus Lawrence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You look at a guy like Ezra
Perfectly said. I'm glad you said it.
I'm glad you said that because a lot of people don't.
Been kind of inflating that.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean conflate? What do you mean?
No,
like,
inflating it.
Because like when you say,
I want to say it's inflation though. It's not
No,
like
I was saying
wait.
I was
because you was in context
Hold
of
okay, I was saying because the reason why like that's a trigger word for me because I don't view him like he's a run stopping edge, but I view him and DeMarcus Lawrence's game completely different. Like DeMarcus Lawrence is a guy who's going to reset the line of scrimmage. He's gonna, you know what I'm saying? He's going to, use his length and his power with it. Gary is more the absorb the tackle and then read and react and make tackles off that. You know what I'm saying? Not so naturally
different scheme though. Yeah.
It's
he's not a tank. He's not a tank. He's not going to run 4 faces to get to you.
So,
I'll give you that.
But that's what's floating around. You know what I'm saying? And that's what that's why I'm passionate about this because like at the end of the day, I know people are gonna get pissed on Sundays. Like if we're overselling these guys and we don't actually know what they truly are.
Here's what I said. I'm glad you said it in the context you said it. You said it with balance. And that's what I'm saying in the streets is not being kind of pitched like that. But go ahead, you was making a big point.
But who you said? Go ahead, Lou, or who you?
No, you was making a point. Like,
when I look at Gary though, so I understand he's not doing the things like the eye test when it comes to like, is he knocking? Is he doing stuff like Tank did in Detroit where he ran through 4 guys and stopped the ball? No, I haven't seen Gary do that, right? Yeah. So I'll give you that. It doesn't have the pizzazz, but when you talk about productivity or the end result, he does show up. He does that. Yeah. So I can see the comparison when you're talking about Tank. He is a guy that you can say when you look at his film, even versus Green Bay, when teams play Green Bay, when you run at Gary, there's no success. You don't get a lot of success, whether you run an outside or in. And I would say he sets the edge even better than D-Law did here, because D-Law's issue here was if he got after the quarterback, especially after Micah Parsons got here, everybody was just chasing quarterbacks. So if he got after the quarterback and he didn't widen his angle, he would break contain, or quarterbacks would break contain to his side a hell of a lot. So I would say Gary is more composed than D-Law. He plays more under control than D-Law does in that regard, setting the edge. His edge setting percentage since 2019 has been excellent. So I look at him as a guy that's a little more conservative than Tank is. Tank probably has the edge when it comes to explosiveness. His guessing ability, like he'll guess, his instinct, jump the B gap, stuff like that. I love the stuff that he does. And I think he kind of changed his ways in Seattle because he set the edge a lot better last year than he ever did here, right? So I do give D-Law his praise, and I mean I give him his respect for winning the Super Bowl. But I also look at Gary as a guy who I think you can definitely get quality rushes out of, you know what I'm saying, and quality rush defense out of. Like, so across the board, and we didn't even mention Ezra Rocco on the opposite side, but across the board, those guys can all flat out stop the run. And then when you look at Ogbo and what he's doing, Ogbo just needs to stay healthy. But Ogbo's a guy, he soaks up blocks. Quentin Williams, watching him last year was beautiful. And when you look at what Kenny Clark did, we all kind of know what Kenny Clark can do too. So those 5 guys up front, I believe, can stop the run without the help of a safety in the box. And the linebackers behind that is just the cleanup crew. They just need to be able to run free and play sideline to sideline with that front 5. So I can't say that doesn't make us automatically better today. Like if we started the season today, are we on defense better than we were last year? And when I ask myself that question, looking at player for player and the way we're designed, I have to say yeah. But the reason I say yes is not because of hope. It's because if you judge the season from when we started playing those 5-man fronts and Quentin Williams got here in the middle of the season, we were in the top as far as run defense for the second half of the season. You know what I'm saying? All the way up until the Detroit game. We were like top 5 until the Detroit game for the weeks that Quentin Williams was playing. We were top 5 for those 5 weeks. For 5 weeks straight, we were top 5 in run defense.
So my question is you, why? So, and this is my question to Cowboy Nation.
Mm-hmm.
With knowing it with Gary, why are we still leaning in the run defense when we know, like, I know maybe it's a small sample size to all, but we was pushing
dope last year.
The run. We were pushing, and we were right. Like everyone, we were right. What could have fixed this run defense? It was the one tech position. We were pushing it, and clamoring. They got 2 in here, and the run defense literally flipped on his head. So my question was this: even with knowing that, why are we still worried about the run defense?
Well, yeah, why is it even a conversation? Because it was working already. Like so when it comes to better, the back end is better. The front end on top of the run is about the same. Like for real, because Clowney, I would say was just as good. Right?
So if you
just
say
as
that,
good because he had
maybe that's a better comparison too. Maybe he is the Clowney replacement because they're similar, right? So
I think he less than Clowney too.
Oh, ew, wow, bro. Y'all don't like Gary, man. What's up? What's up with y'all? Ain't watch no Gary film?
We did.
Come on, man.
Stop.
Come on, man.
You want me to be honest with you?
That's why we saying it.
Y'all don't like Gary though. I'm trying to why Gary.
I'll sit here and do it.
It's not even don't like Gary, man.
I think
is he not better than Clowney, man?
Like somebody I think Gary can come in here and play a role. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I'm not going to ignore. Gary has a lot of deficiencies. A lot. I'm gonna be honest with you. Even versus the run. Like the one thing I'm worried about, and I hope he fixes it, is going to be the key to everything, was his motor. And his motor definitely went out at the end of the season. Like it was, I don't know, it was a little politic thing, him and Mike. That was the main thing. If you go on the Packers side, his motor definitely went out. Knowing that coming here.
What games are you basing that off of, though?
One,
are you basing it off of his sack production, or are you basing it off of what? Like his impact in the game or sack production?
When I grade a DN, I grade in your role or in your archetype. You know what I'm saying? If you don't get sacks, I'm not gonna look for sacks. I'm gonna be like, hey, you fit this role. Let's go get another guy that can fit, that can come meet or make up for your deficiencies. But within that, I don't think he had a very good game versus us. I did it. And consensus, if everyone's in the chat was telling me we have very bad tackles. We have very bad tackles. Can I be honest with y'all, chat? Tight ends were blocking him. I didn't like that. Jake Ferguson is Shoemaker.
And I'm glad you said that.
I know that's a scheme.
It's a different scheme.
We're still in 3-4. We're still at 3-4 at the end of the day. We still
no. He was 4-3 mostly last year though. They were kind of.
It was 3-4 with we're the 4.
They had a lot of guys crowding the line of scrimmage. They was moving all over the place. They was crawling.
They're the exact same thing with us. They're a 3-4 with a 4-3 alignment. That's exactly what we're doing because he's an outside linebacker.
But do you know that he's purposely rerouting tight ends though? He's not like being blocked by the tight end. He holds and then he disengages and then pursues his rush. So he's not always just trying to get straight to the rush. He'll take a wide rush and he does it so often that I don't think it's an accident.
It was time the ball was going towards him, Okoye.
For you saying tight ends is blocking him when they coming towards him?
Well, yeah, the whole tag about.
He say Dallas.
Steele.
Dallas.
I didn't watch the beginning of the season because he was getting sacks in the beginning of the season. I watched everything after he stopped getting sacks.
I would also say Clowney is better than Gary. Like with half the snaps, he got about the same amount of tackles for loss, right? So and obviously if he would have had the equal amount of snaps, he would have definitely did the same or likely sack amount. So that was going back to your question of are we better? The back end, yes.
Okay.
The front end, man, it's the same.
That's what
it's the same. And so
This is the reason I laughed when you said that, right? One of the best blocking tight ends I've seen on film anyway is, I think, this dude's name. Trimble, the dude from Carolina. What's his name?
Yes, Tommy Trimble.
I think it's Trimble. I think it's his last name.
Yes, Tommy Trimble. Yeah.
From number 82 from Carolina.
Yeah.
Did you see what he did to Cowboys?
Oh yeah,
he went crazy. Oh, he went nuts.
He whooped everybody. You know, only 2 people I seen whoop his ass last year. That was Morris Leofile, beat him all day.
Yeah.
Marshawn Nealon didn't beat him. Osa got smacked up by him.
But the whole
he smacking everybody.
Boy,
He a tight end.
dog. Boy is a dog.
Thomas
Boy
got
is
smacked by him.
dog.
He was smacking.
Yeah.
Okay. You know who else whooped his ass?
Gary.
Rashawn Gary. So to say that he can't block, he getting blocked by tight ends, I'm like, well, the best blocking tight end I've seen, he did. What do you say? He whooped Joe Lewis's ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I look at it like, hey, man,
had a good game.
Well, you tell me, because this is where
and that's fair.
Now, if you're comparing Gary, the trade for Gary against possibly acquiring Max Crosby, okay, to me that's an unfair comparison. I don't compare Gary to Micah.
No.
I don't compare him to Crosby. He's not. He's a tier 2 edge rusher, in my opinion, not a tier 1. Those guys are tier 1.
I don't think he's tier 3. I'll be honest with
you. You think he's tier 3?
He borderline in
based off what?
Because I'll put here's the guys I put in tier 2. So you can I'll put a Josh Sweat in tier 2.
Yeah.
You put Josh Sweat in tier 2.
Yes.
But you don't pick Gary in it.
No.
Okay. Do you think Josh Sweat is better than Rashawn Gary?
Last year for sure.
Yeah.
You said Miles?
No, last year for sure.
Bruh, no, man, don't do that to it.
I'm just being honest.
Last year,
the market says the same thing.
Sure.
The
market who?
I said the market.
The market said that?
The market says the same thing.
How the market say that?
I mean, they're gonna pay you based off your play, correct? Or are you saying that run defenders just naturally make less money?
No, I'm saying if you look at him, so you're looking at him solely as a run defender, not an overall.
No. You saying run? So you want to tiers in terms of run defenders?
No. You looking at him as just
what we should give Okoye is where we had him ranked out of all the people we looked at on film.
Yeah, I can compare. Yeah, I can do it on the free agency class. I can tell you.
Listen here, man. Let me tell you something. And I saw you pick Sweat earlier, right?
Yeah.
And I know Sweat very well, right? Like I watch him a lot. Sweat is a speed rusher. It looks prettier. But do you know how many pressures Sweat had last year? How many had? No, I
don't know the number.
Who do you think had more though out of him and Gary?
Who measured this? Who measured this, Okoye?
Well, even if you don't want to measure pressures, if you're just counting sacks,
that matters because if it's NFL Pro
2019, since 2019, Rashawn Gary has averaged 7 sacks a season. Sweat has averaged 8 a season. Now he's had peaks where he had in 2022 he had 11, and last year he had 12. So he had those peaks, but the rest is just average.
So are you comparing his pass rushing ability right now?
No. I'm talking about the results. He has 55 sacks since 2019.
Yeah, like the numbers.
And Gary had 46.
They go,
I don't. So look, in my measurement of a pass rush, because let me give you an example.
I'm not measuring the pass rush. I'm measuring the result.
No, I'm saying because I'll give you an example.
Luke, can I just jump in just for 1 second?
I'm gonna say this one example, and you can go. Because so there was 2 guys last year that had 2 sacks. And like we don't look at that. I don't. You know what I'm saying?
What guys had 2 sacks?
I'm an offensive lineman. I know sacks is really is luck. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things that go your way. You know what I'm saying? You can do a lot of things that go your way. So the 2 guys I compared was Boye Mafa and Jonathan Grenard. When you turn on both of their films, 2 completely different rushers. Boye Mafa and the market reflected.
He was dope.
The market reflected, even though he had 2 sacks, he had a ton of pressures, constantly putting pressure on the tackle. Constantly there. When you watch Jonathan Grenard,
you got to stop right there though. When I just said that Gary has more pressures than Sweat, you said based off of what metrics, but now you're bringing up pressures again. So what metrics are you basing those pressures off of? Because I'm basing them off of the stats, pressure rates.
I'm basing off the field.
Lou, that's why I wanted to talk first on how we graded these guys, so he'll know where we came from. So
right.
what we did is
if you saying pressures, Gary got more pressures than Sweat.
That's exactly what I want to bring up. How we separated them. Okay,
with less games.
So here's out of Koye, and I know you'll be able to kind of jive with this. So when we looked at about 9 or 10 different edge rushers, right? Because we was in a scramble, kind of seeing what was going on with Crosby. We wanted to make sure we go get us a War Daddy, right? Because we believe in that, trying to chase the Vic Fangio.
You don't think we can get one in the draft?
I don't
with
believe
this room
in
that we got around them. You don't think this veteran room?
Lead off?
Nah. If it's Bane, possibly.
And Mesidor, you don't like Mesidor?
I do, but not as a lead dog. Not year one. Not year one. Like year 3, yes. Year 1, no.
Okay.
So
I mean, I'm not
back to that because I don't trust.
Go ahead.
I don't trust nobody on the trenches, on the defensive trenches within the first 3 years. I don't, unless they're a top 5 pick. That's when I say, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, because those are the guys that usually come in like old boy from Ole Miss. He's surprised. Like, you know, who we was looking at, like he actually showed that he was one of them ones that could actually come in year 1 and be a man. Like, but you got to be around there, bro, or I don't trust you. Just being honest. Like, you got to be right at pick 12 or but anyway. But so you'll know how we graded them. We did it sexy first. You know how it is when we on YouTube. Look at the sacks, right? So you look at the sacks, but how we graded the sacks was different than most. We looked at athletic sacks and then cleanup sacks.
So you guys are degrading sacks based off of how he got.
It's not degrading.
All sacks are not created.
It's not a degradation. It's more so an accuracy in how they came. So, and it also kind of factors into, to me, degree of difficulty.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So
if I got 3 guys to beat to get
right, so if you Crosby, you had to go around 3 cats and you hit that loop and bend and still make the play and chase him down. That's way better than the guy that was 1-on-1. You know, then he got around, he beat his guy, his quarterback step up, he holding the ball, then he finally foul on him. It's like,
what hurts be saying a win is a win. So a good conclusion is a good conclusion, right? So
I mean, numerically, yes, but I'm telling you how we came upon the differences in these qualities, so you'll know how we did it. Like you might disagree with how we do it, but this is how we did it.
I'm just asking so I know what I'm arguing against.
Yeah, and that's why I'm telling you. This is so when we was grading Gary in relation to everybody else, that's how we graded his sacks. Then we did the exact same thing with his pressures, and so it was in comparison to others as well. It wasn't just Gary alone. It was we graded Gary that way. We graded Chason that way. We graded Bosa that way. We graded all of them the same way. Athletic versus cleanup. Was it a real pressure? Was it not? And then what we did to make it really fair is we just turned it on and watched it raw, where we didn't put no edits on it. We just said, listen, I ain't going to enhance it. Let's just look at them in a raw trace. Let's look at their hustle. Let's look at everything that they do. We go get them at least 15, 20 plays, and we go move on to the next. Now, is that as thorough as most? No. Do we need to probably go a little bit deeper with some? Sure. Right. But based on how we looked at it, that's how we kind of came up with the assessments of quality, especially looking at them in pressure sack situations.
Well, I think that the only category that I would say Josh Sweat is better than Gary in is finishing. The only reason I'm judging Gary less than I'm judging or I said pass rusher anyway, less than Sweat is because in the 6 games that I watched, Minnesota, our game. Well, I didn't watch our game. Minnesota, the playoff game against Chicago, Philadelphia. I watched. I don't know what else is on the film. I just did it yesterday, but I don't remember. But out of the 6 games I watched, he had an opportunity. And when I say opportunity, I mean QB hits. He had an opportunity to bring the quarterback down maybe 7, 8 times and didn't. If he brought them down, even half of that, if he got 4 more sacks, and we're looking at 11 sacks in the season, nobody's asking these questions, right? So he needs to finish better when it comes to getting to the QB. That's the only reason you're talking about Josh Sweat's 12 and Gary's 7.5 sacks.
I disagree.
Really.
And I would agree with you on the Maffa too. What you said, I agree with what you said. Your analysis on Sweat is my analysis on. On Gary's my analysis on Maffa is finishing.
But also. When you look at Sweat versus when I look at an overall player, I'm not looking at just if your skill set is I just get on the field and all I can do is pass rush. I thought Robert Quinn was great at pass rushing. You get you 20 sacks, but he ain't shit versus the run. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I thought Micah Parsons from a defensive end perspective was excellent.
Right.
But when you saw what happened in the playoffs when you run at him, You know what I mean? So that is pass rushing. But when I look at you from your position, like overall edge, Gary overall is better than Josh Sweat. So if you told me we got Josh Sweat over Gary, I wouldn't put Josh Sweat over Gary in any circumstance, because the things that they do versus the run, Gary's better. Gary drops back in coverage more and still has just as many or more pressures than Josh Sweat has. But you say they're not creative, which I do.
You can't use that. Okoye,
I'll give you. I can use it.
You're talking about four down versus the 3-4 outside linebacker.
I'll give you the floor in a second, but I'll give you credit when it comes to level of difficulty. I'll give you credit when it comes to that. But when it comes to overall edge, being an overall, if I'm looking at the fact that you're getting, is he getting pressures? I don't care if you're not the guy, because he was the guy after Micah Parsons got hurt in the playoffs as well, and he was still effective and still having a great impact on games. Whether you say that impact was only versus the run, or you didn't like the way he was pass rushing, I will argue he doesn't have a great counter to his long arm or his steering wheel move. He needs to counter quicker. I will give Gary that. Can he do that? And get an old dog learn new tricks? Who knows what this coaching staff will do with him? But I do think he needs counters. It doesn't look cute, but he still get in result. He still gets there. So I will give him credit for after Micah Parsons getting hurt, he still was getting his pressures and doing what he had to do. He just didn't get any sacks out of it because he started getting the big boy attention that Micah Parsons was just getting. They just slid it to him now. You know what I'm saying? And he's not that guy, as you said. He's not a guy that's going to beat 3-4 guys to get to it. I wouldn't argue that. But if you told me that we got a guy that is better at pass rushing, just a speed rush, but when it comes to edge setting percentages, run stopping grade, and his ability to affect the run, there is no Sweat. Don't touch him when it comes to that. But he's touching Sweat when it comes to sack production. So if I say, hey, my guy who is not as cute as a Josh Sweat when it comes to his pass rushing ability will flat out stop the run and will still get you 7 to 10 sacks in a season, I'll still take that over the 2 extra sacks I'm going to get from Sweat and the same amount of pressures, same amount of tackles for loss. I will take that any day over the guy who just gives me 3 extra sacks and no extra pressures and no extra tackles for loss. And you can run right at him. No, I would take that all day over a sack machine. So that's how, when you judged Sweat, I looked at it like, okay, I can say that Sweat is tier 2, but to say that they're miles apart, there is no metric that they're miles apart, not even sacks. 55 versus 46 sacks since 2019. Even if you say level of difficulty, you're talking about the market earlier. Well, the market would say that the market don't ask, hey, what's the level of difficulty? The market just say, well, what are you doing?
They look at film.
What's your productivity?
The market look at film and how you did it too.
The market, y'all teaching me something. They still pay you based off your production. You got 0 sacks and great film and a bunch of almost, you're still not going to get paid. You know what I'm saying? Period.
We just seen Boyd Maffa.
Marcus Lawrence was never a.
Maffa got
we just seen Maffa get paid a bag. That's not true.
Almost.
That's not true.
His film though.
He got 2 sacks and he just got a bag. Okoye, that's not true.
So, but I'm gonna be fair to you on this, Okoye. Okoye, this is where I'm gonna be. This is where I'm gonna be.
Y'all keep bringing up exceptions. Is that the rule or is that an exception? You keep saying Maffa. Is that the rule or is that an exception?
No, I think that's the rule.
Film is the rule.
I think film is the rule.
Film is the rule.
Film is the rule. Film is the ultimate.
But let me go back to this, Okoye.
That's your ultimate rule. I'm talking about for the front office.
That's what we're talking about with the market. But real quick, Okoye, I want to be fair on something you said. Because see, I'm not gonna also pretend. I'm never gonna come over here and fake. Now, one thing that I did not look at Sweat in detail on was him versus the run.
Why not?
So that's because I'm letting you know that could be a step to where you could be right. So if you're right on that, then you are making it, because this is not about trying to win. This is about what's true. So I'm also letting it be known in the process of how we looked at these guys, and what we was looking for was a guy that's gonna win on the one-on-ones, because that's what Vic showed that gets off when he got a guy that can win, especially in passing downs and stuff like that. So especially knowing he go get after you with 4, stop the run, and with 4. I will say I will take another look at Sweat and equally compare him to Gary. If you right, I'm gonna say Okoye was right on this, and this is where Gary could have an edge on him. And see, because it's not about trying to win a debate, it's about what's true, and that would take Gary a step up. But where I would stand on a dime on is that Sweat is way more explosive than Gary when it comes to getting after the quarterback, and it's not even close. It's not even
Where
close.
are
Like
these elite numbers at for Sweat? What are y'all talking
it's not
about?
numbers.
It's not numbers. It's the film.
when you look at it, it's like, okay, so we talked about degree of difficulty. So like when you go look at Crosby's, because we could all do the same thing, and I'm pretty sure you go take us to the test on this. I want you to do this.
Mhm.
Go look at Crosby and just put it on sacks on.
Why are we going back to Crosby though? Because
I'm talking about differences in degree of difficulty, because I'm giving a comparison of how we came to this. So when you go look at Crosby, you can click on sacks and just watch it and see how many he makes basically on his own athletically, right? And then compare it to how much was kind of cleaning up behind people, running into people, running quarterback, running away from Michael, running into you type shit. Like, so, and separate that. If you see from that method that Gary is on the level of Sweat, then I say, okay, fine. But not from the way.
I look at Gary as a guy who, like I said, he's gonna get you maybe 3 or 4 hustle sacks, and the rest of them will be because he might have beat
clean up.
Yeah,
Clean
hustle sacks. Like I'm using my motor.
I saw the exact same thing.
I look at DeMarcus Lawrence as far as pass rush anyway. The same, similar. He's not a pass rush move guy. He's gonna get you because he just disruptive. He's gonna blow through you. Just a strong guy.
No. I don't agree with that. But no,
bro, I'm not asking you to agree with me. I'm just making my point.
I'm just saying.
Listen to me. Listen to me. I'm gonna give you the floor to say whatever you want to say. If you disagree, state it. I don't care about that. I'm not stating it for you to agree. I don't care if you agree with me. That's the whole point of us having this conversation.
So we really gonna sit here and say that DeMarcus Lawrence is on the same level as pass rush? You're gonna sit here and look at me in a dead face and say that?
What did you say?
Did he has Gary ever match his production?
Whose?
D-Law.
What did I say?
You said that Gary is a similar pass rusher to DeMarcus Lawrence.
Similar meaning they don't use any moves to get to the quarterback. Lawrence doesn't have a real. What's Lawrence's move?
He has a stab. He has counters. He has long arms. He has something that Gary does
not.
What
is his move, bro?
I just told you a stab. That's a move.
What?
A stab. A stab. A long arm stab.
And what is Gary's?
You tell me, because you think he's
stab. No, he stabs as well. He stabs.
No, what are you doing in the middle right now? Come on, now. We ain't finna sit here and act like that.
Because
I'm not
the same exact move. You just said a stab.
They both stab.
You just said a stab, right? Didn't you just say that?
Yeah, they do.
A stab.
Yeah, he said a stab.
And they both do the same. So if I say similar, did I say they exact same in production? I said they have similar styles to get into the quarterback. What we talking about, bro? Now you tripping. Stop it.
I'm tripping. We finna sit here and act like that. Gary literally does the same.
You just said they got the same move, and now you're saying it's not similar.
Damn film right now. I'm not gonna do
no,
this.
Wait. See, hold on. I think this got caught up into some. It's obviously not about the move. It's the effectiveness of the moves, bro.
We gonna do it like this, Blue. You can pick any player you want that you say is a tier 2, that you saying like, especially Sweat, because we're gonna do Sweat, and we're gonna do this over the next 2 days. You gonna give me some film because you just said put the film on, right? So you gonna give me whatever games you want to pick. You could cherry pick or you could put them all, whatever plays you want. And we talking about impact. So don't give me one play from this game that he looked good in the rest of the game. I want to see the impact that he had on the game versus the run and the pass.
Love it. Let's go.
Count his snaps.
Let's do it with film.
Love it.
Let's do it with film.
Yes, we're gonna do it with film.
That's it.
Because I like this kind of party. Listen, you're gonna count how many snaps he had.
Yes.
And you're gonna count the effective plays that he had. And when I say effective plays, I mean if I disrupt the backfield and I push my guy into the quarterback's lap and I don't get a pressure for it, but it's an incomplete pass, that's an effective play. Yeah. Okay. If I touch the quarterback and he runs out of the pocket and I get a pressure, he affected that play. If I disrupt my side of the field and the ball bounces to the other side of the field and those guys rally for the tackle, but I don't get the tackle, that's an effective play. Yeah. So I want to see how many chaos play games that he played, and then let's use also. I don't know who Arizona played all year, but we're gonna use light competition too if we can.
We can use the Cowboys.
I think we need to put
not just the Cowboys. We're gonna pick, like I said, y'all say in order to do
Boye Mafia need to go in there too.
You're gonna have to pick 6 teams that you want. 6, because we're gonna do 6 like y'all said, right?
I love it.
But I'm just laying the groundwork for that, because since you're talking film, we're gonna do film. This I wasn't doing film because I said, I don't want to get y'all pages flagged like mine get flagged. I sacrificed my problem. So I wasn't doing film on this jump. But if you want to do film, That is what I love, brother.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Let's
All
do it.
day.
Because I'm gonna be honest with you.
Let's
All
go.
this stat talk.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm
Yeah.
an offensive lineman. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm just keep it real.
I'm
I'm
glad.
not with the stat talk.
Ooh.
I'm an offensive lineman.
No stat talk.
All sacks are not
Let's
created.
go.
All pressures
Let's
are not
go.
created.
Put your
If you
chest
didn't
out,
beat
Lou.
me,
What do you
didn't
being an
run with it.
offensive
If you
lineman
didn't
got
beat
to
me,
do
you ain't no
with
real.
what we talking about?
It
What's
has
that
everything
mean?
to do with it. Because at the end of the day, I seen Gary try to run down the middle of me. Middle of a damn tackle, and you gonna tell me to my face that he got moves? He done that 80% of the game.
You lying now? Because
I'm not lying.
Let's
Let's
go.
You keep. That's why I keep asking you what I said.
Dallas Cowboys right now.
You already have a
He was
prepared
running down the
idea of
middle
what
of
you think I'm
that.
gonna say.
He was running down the
When did I
middle of
say this
Steve.
boy got
He was
moved?
running down the
Hey,
middle of all of
Lou,
them.
I said he
Lou,
don't
we
got
can't
moved.
see the
I said
host.
real.
Lou, we
Hey,
when did I
can't
say
see
he
the
got moved?
host. You
Hey.
gotta chill.
Matter of fact,
I
hold
know,
on.
I know,
Watch this.
I know.
Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. I'm gonna show you because you said I said he got moves, right? I said he got moves. I say it right here in the video that I just broke him down. When did I say he got? I said he don't got no moves. So when the hell I say he got moves? You be lying, bro. Stop that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't lie on me, bro. You can say whatever you want to say.
Somebody was gonna
Don't lie
start
on me,
boxing
though.
up in this mother.
All right.
I knew the box was
I
going
know what I
happen.
say.
All right.
I say
It's the
exactly what I
boxing
mean, and I
going
mean what I say
on.
every
I
time.
love
I don't play
boxing.
no games like that.
Let's
So
go
I would never
box.
lie.
Box.
Hell yeah.
Let's go. Now,
Yeah.
you know the best thing I love? The best
Go ahead.
thing I love was we gonna settle this with the film. That's the number one thing that
You think
Okoye
he's going
said that I
up? Come on.
love that I
He's
heard
going up.
doing. Wait. No.
Oh, y'all want
You
to
want to join now?
All right,
No.
Oh,
No,
Now
I'm
we
just
gonna
showing
do
you.
it. No, we gonna do
I
it
had
in a
I had
way.
a call
We
out. I
gonna
put
do
the
it in a way to
title
where
on the
we
joint. I
won't
said,
mess up
you
the
know,
money.
I said he don't counter. He got one move. I said
Yes.
that.
okay.
And I asked you 3 times to try to get you to back out of. You said, you gonna tell me to my face that
because the reason why I think Lawrence got counters. I think he got counters.
I said, what is Gary
He got a
move?
stab, rip
A
open. He got a
stab.
stab.
Stop it, man. Come on,
I
man.
think DeMarcus Lawrence
I
has
ain't never
moves.
said boy had no
Only
moves,
the
though, bro.
Cowboys do
I
this
ain't never
to
said
us.
that. I
Only
would
the
never say that.
Cowboys.
Come on, man.
I said the reason why I said
Pause.
I believe D-Law has counters.
Okoye,
Where are they?
Okoye,
Is it on film?
Okoye,
I ain't seen that. I'm watching
all
for like
right.
9 years. Where is that?
Okay.
Okoye.
We'll show it.
Let me moderate for 1 second, bro. Bring us back. Bring us back.
Go ahead.
Let's bring us back real quick.
I'm like, God damn, the boy.
Because I gotta ask you a question, Okoye.
Go ahead.
Do you believe? Because you said that we don't need a pass rusher.
Yeah,
I want to kind of get to that because I think
When did
we
I
do.
say that?
I think you said that. I might have misquoted you, bro.
When did I say that?
I
said
thought
we
you
don't
said
need
that.
Max Crosby. Our season ain't over.
Didn't
if
you
we don't get
say-
Max Crosby.
Didn't you say we want a pass rusher? We don't need one or something like that?
Talking about elite. Yeah, we want an elite pass rusher this season. We don't need one.
Okay.
We want one. Yeah,
Okay.
I did say
Okay.
that. I didn't say
Okay.
why
So
would
you
I say
said
you don't
elite.
need to affect a passing league
And
with
see,
a pass rusher. Why?
that's
would I
why I
say that?
want to
I said
talk
that
to you.
Seattle. Who is Seattle's pass rusher? Who is he?
Oh shit.
They have plenty. They have a good committee.
Yeah, they have a dope ass committee. If we had their committee, I wouldn't be asking for nothing.
Hey, if you want a committee, give me a quad committee like what's
Yeah,
his
if
name?
Put a
you
name
gave us
on it.
them, if
Boye
you gave us
Maffa is
their
a great
squad,
pass
I wouldn't
rusher.
be saying nothing about what we need.
Boye
Okay.
Maffa's a great pass rusher.
Boye Maffa is the great pass rusher. Okay, who else? Who else you got? What did he do last year? You said no stats don't matter,
He
right?
only had 2 sacks, but as far as getting to the quarterback, he got there. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Gary got there more times though, and more pressures. Why are we talking about that? You know what I'm saying?
are you implying that is Gary a better pass rusher than Boye Maffa?
No, but you're saying that
Okay,
he's
then
a
why are you bringing that
pass
to
rusher
the
with 2 sacks?
Why are you implying that then?
If Michael Parsons had 2 sacks,
Man,
we would
hold
forget
on,
about him,
bro.
right?
I
Why the
tried
hell
to
we saying
bring-
that?
Listen, I tried to bring some peace to y'all. I think y'all
Come
already
on, man.
in scrap
Okay.
mode.
All right, so
What you're supposed to do
Boye
right now is
Maffa
both of
is
y'all
the-
go take a breath. Let's get back to what we were talking about,
Yeah,
man.
What we talking
Because
about?
I'm trying to get back to this, bro. Like, because honestly, bro, Koye, bro,
Mhm.
I mean this with all my heart, bro. I want you on the team of helping Parker get that lead dog. So I think we might disagree on what a lead dog is. I think that's what it's coming down
No, we
to.
don't. I know the tier 1s are, and I like
I'm
them.
not even talking
But who-
necessarily tier 1.
How many?
Here-
You might be able to help me tighten up my list. That's what I'm getting down to.
Here's my issue though when it comes to this argument. If you say and you said that I said that pass rush doesn't count or discredited pass rush, I don't discredit pass rush, but the run defense is what creates the opportunities for pass rush. If if you're not stopping the ball short on first and second down, you're dealing with, you already know, third and shorts all day.
Yeah.
When we looked at the Packers game, the way we got ran off the field because they never had any third and long situations. They ran right at us all day.
We already good on stopping the run. So I'm talking about us on trying to get after the quarterback, which is the second thing that Parker said. He said the first thing, the two things that's the most important is stopping the run and getting after the quarterback.
That's secondary.
So I'm talking about the second thing. Like I'm trying to see where you at on that. Like, and I'm trying to make sure, because we might not be on different pages. Sometimes we're not. Because the people are trying to make us seem like we are, and then when we actually talk, we not. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to get where your mind is on that second part of what Parker said.
Okay. So what I'm saying is stopping the run is primary. I'm gonna give you an example. There are no teams since 2000, period. There are no teams that had just except for two. I'm gonna give you two: the Colts and the Saints. But there are no teams that won Super Bowls that only had pass rush but sucked versus the run. It don't really exist. You got to be able to stop the run first.
We agree.
And then you have the ability to hunt. But guess what? Now you have the ability to blitz and do other things. So everybody becomes a better pass rusher when you create third and long situations, period. Your secondary gets better when you create third and long situations. So the primary thing that you need to be able to do in this league, it has not changed, even though we're a passing league, especially in December, is stop the run. After that, you get the hunt. That's always been true. So to say that I'm saying something different, I'm saying what the truth is.
No. We already agree on that, though. We agree on that.
So I get you. But what I'm saying to you is when I say we don't need, and the Seattle Seahawks don't have an elite pass rusher. They don't have one on the exterior. They don't have one. If you say Leonard Williams and you want to say he's elite, I say we got a Leonard Williams and Quentin Williams. We got one. If you say Chris Jones, we got one. If you say Aaron Donald, we ain't got and nobody got an Aaron Donald, but we got Quentin Williams. So I look at it like that. So if you're talking about the interior, our interior solid as hell when it comes to pass rush and collapsing pockets now, right? So that only makes, even if you got a bunch of cleanup crew defensive ends, they just got better because the A gap just got chaotic. When you look at the Bucks a couple years ago, they had Ndamukong Suh and Vita Vea. So why you think Shaq, whatever his last name is, why you think Shaquille, whatever his name is, was able to, there's so many Shaqs in the league, that's why I say that. But why do you think he was able to get sacks and to be an undersized defensive end that was so effective? Because you had your people eaters in the middle of the field. So that is a staple. Now, y'all both agreed that we did argue that we all needed one tech here in order to be successful. We got that now. Yeah. So maybe, just maybe, I don't think Christian Parker is slow. I'm just thinking, just maybe he looks at it the same way. He says, my guys on the end, if they're doing the things that I would like for them to do, even if it's just cleanup crew, we got the chaos between the tackles with those three guys. And now those guys on the end, of course, they need to play better. But we can't have it both ways either. Because when you say on this team, these guys just average or they suck or whatever, they're average, or I would say they're average on the edge, right? But we also had a coach last year who didn't develop shit, right? So either he was bad,
guys. I know what you mean.
Players are bad.
He was part of the reason.
Players are as bad as Eberflus's scheme was for those players, right? So I think they're already better than what we're giving them credit for. And then even when you look at a guy like Sam Williams was not he was in a limited rotation his first two seasons, and then last year he was coming back off of an ACL tear, right? So he got hurt the year before last, and then last year he's coming off of an ACL tear. You know what I'm saying? Or he tore it actually in the offseason, something like that, right? I don't remember where he did it, but he was coming off of ACL tear last year. So I didn't expect him to do very much. I look at Sam Williams as being a guy that can actually give you more this season due to the fact that I think he'll be confident in that more and healthier. You know what I'm saying? When I look at Morris Leofau, me and you actually probably agree on Leofau, but Leofau is hell of effective in the 10 snaps he was getting per game. I'm not saying he's a pass rusher by any means at all.
He was
at all. But when I say productivity, I'm looking at the room. That's it. I don't care about the cute shit. I look at the room. I say on one side you got Ezeraku and probably Leofau in that rotation or whoever we draft, and on the other side you got Sam Williams right now. You know what I mean? He's coming back from injury, and then you have Gary. If I can get double-digit sacks collectively out of those two sides, I don't care if it's on a rotation. I'll take that, especially with what I think I'm going to get from my interior. Now, staying healthy is going to be important, and making sure we have depth that is similar to the guy in front of them, so that they can all be interchangeable in that sense. But saying that if I don't get a a war daddy, as you guys would say, that it's a loss on this season. I can't even say that because even last year,
I didn't say that either though. I
last
never
year,
said loss in the season.
we was 1 second away from the playoffs last year. Meaning if the Packers, that clock would have ran out against the Packers, we go into the playoffs last year. If we grabbed Quinnen Williams early, if Quinnen Williams was here for the whole season, we make the playoffs last year. 100%. Suck ass secondary that we had, we would have made playoffs last year. There were games that we should have won last year that we didn't win because these guys are young and out of control, didn't know how to win games, especially the Green Bay game. When you talk about Morris Lee fouling the penalty right before the end of the game, the Giants game we won, but those games are well, we had a lot of winnable games that didn't go our way due to the fact that these guys were not communicating and not understanding what was going on in the field, and you could see it. Yeah, even when they get into their zones, there's a difference between knowing the play that's called and getting to your spot and then understanding how you're being attacked and actually adjusting on the fly. None of them were doing that. They would just get to their spots and stand there. So even with that, if Quinnen Williams was here earlier, we would have got to the playoffs last year, even with that, even with those problems. So do I think that this year, with having him in a full offseason, having Kenny Clark in a full offseason, having Demo, who also was rehabbing last year, for a full offseason, Rebel as well, you know what I mean? Having those guys here for a full offseason, do I think we got better? Of course. Do I believe in Christian Parker? For sure. So I can't say I believe in Christian Parker, but then sit here and keep undermining all the moves that this is Jerry allowing him all to make moves he wants.
Undermining
to
make. Why would I undermine?
No,
you heard what I said.
You
said
way
right?
too strong. No, you using way too much strong language to talk about what
Can't
we
just
doing.
Start talking about, ain't Gary
no, it's not. It's not undermining all his moves because I already started the show saying that I believe that he made the back end better. I definitely agree with you what you said in terms of Overshawn go be better coming off year 2. Revel go be better. Yeah, so better because it's a lot of people go better because they go be healthy. So I agree with us. We go likely be better. I also agree with you that Eberflus on some of that with the lack of disguise allowed outlets that didn't allow pass rush. I believe some of that had to do with it as well. That's a fair terms of helping out the edge room. This is what it really comes down to, Okoye. Do you trust the talent to get it done in the edge room? Now, I'm not undermining what he did on the back end. I'm not shitting on what he did at backer. I'm not hating on what he did at corner. I love what he did at safety. We talking about one thing. And that's why we having this conversation, because of Eberflus always having a guy that he could rely on to win, especially to get those sacks. And we'll talk about that. But do you trust his room?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Do I think that we go out in the draft or maybe out in free agency and grab another guy, both in the linebacker room, but middle linebacker and on the outside? For sure. I think you still need depth at those positions, but in the draft for sure. But do I think we can win over what we did last year with what we have on the field right now? Of course.
It's going to be better. And see,
I don't like
asking y'all, enlighten me. Who was the edge for KC the year before last or the year before that? Who was the edge?
Before you go there, because I want to respond, Luke, because I didn't really get a chance to respond to him because y'all been boxing a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all been boxing a good hard minute. I needed to respond to this. I don't trust the room like you trust the room, Okoye.
Go ahead.
What's up, y'all?
What's happening, man? First of all, I want to say this. Going back to your son, man. This is already too much with it. You don't walk into a straight heavyweight box. We full-fledged boxing now. Go ahead. Listen, just trust me, Fuss. Don't come on in here, bro.
Hey,
we boxing now.
No, get back to your son. Get it in. Don't worry about it.
Let's go.
All right, let me go back with this real quick. So, I don't trust the talent as much as a unit.
Yeah.
More so because I felt like some guys last year outperformed Gary, like especially Clowney. And Clowney did it, in my opinion, coming off the couch. So I felt like if you gave Clowney that same offseason, he would likely perform better. Like in terms of talent
back, so you're not gonna get no argument.
Yeah, and so but I'm talking about the talent.
Didn't go number 1 overall. That's a hell of a talent, Clowney.
Of course, but I'm just I'm making the case on trusting the talent. You said you do. I'm telling you why I don't, and I want to be very direct on that. Where I'm saying I want us to get more. That's what we getting down to. Cause see, based on your mind state, you cool. You like, hey, we can rock with this. I don't feel comfortable rocking with this because I don't trust this in closeout situations. I don't trust this if a talented quarterback trying to come back. I don't trust this to have a guy that can cause us to slant protections his way to cause more one-on-ones for other guys. I want us to take it a level up on talent, the talent specifically to get after the quarterback. I totally agree that Gary's dope enough for the run stopping. I totally agree that we dope at run stopping. I totally don't trust the Sam Williams, the Donovan Ezeraku playing coming off the hip, Sam coming off the ACL. I'm not trusting that.
I don't like.
I would rather trust the guy that did it, bring him in, let's pay for it. Then you'll have a defense that mimics
Max Crosby knees. If our own team doctor don't, but you don't trust these guys.
Okay, that's the easy one because see that was more so Baltimore getting cold feet more than actually a pullout of the doctor.
Yeah.
Because see, all the real reports are saying that he'll be ready by July.
He'll be ready.
Yeah, he'll be ready to go by July. He had a little meniscus cleanup, bro. It's cleanup surgery. It's you know when it comes to surgeries. It depends on what it is. Like if it's an ACL, and then Foot's in here, man. Let's get Foot's in here, bro. He got his son.
I know you don't got a lot of time, Foots. Go ahead.
First of all, y'all, this actually good bump. This good smoke. So a few things that I wanted to say because I think when I quote tweeted Okoye, I think it was like, and I know Lou, you know, you had it. I don't know if you took issue to it, but it was like my whole thing is. I'm never saying pass rush doesn't matter. But I've said this, and Okoye will tell you this. We've been doing this since the roundtable. Micah Parsons spoiled Cowboys fans, and he spoiled this team, and he spoiled this defense to the point where last year, around this time, when I started telling folks, hey, don't expect Diggs to be the same player, everybody in the community attacked me. Everybody. And now look. So my point is, and my point is, when it comes to Rashawn Gary, my expectations are never going to be for him to be a 12-sack, 13-sack guy. I know the player since he was at Michigan. And when he went 12 overall, right, if you look at it and if you're a Packers guy, you're like, well, 12 overall, man, at least 13, 14 sacks. That's never been his bag. But when I cut on the tape, I didn't see effort issues, Lou. I heard you talk about that. I didn't see that. But, you know, hey, apples, oranges, cool. Everybody interprets film better. I mean, differently, excuse me. But, Lou, you an O-line guy, so I want to ask you a question because I call offense as well on the youth level. And I know for me, guys, high sack guys and guys that just get upfield, I'm cool with those guys. I could bring a sniffer around. We could reach them. We could do certain things. We could be +1 in the run game. It's those dudes who really give effort versus the run that always give me an issue, right? And so my last point is, and boss, I'm sure you've done some research on Fangio. Okoye, you made some actually really good points about Josh Sweat that I didn't even know. Fangio wants to.
You gotta double check his work though, bro.
Hey, boss.
I'm messing with dog.
Let me say this real good. But like I told you,
let me say this though.
You're not right, bro. I already seen it, but we just gonna do it official.
Actually, I want to definitely let y'all two box, but I want to say this: when it comes to Fangio, the one thing that I've taken from everybody that I've talked to, Philly people, I talk to Cody on a regular. We talk for hours about this thing. He wants to keep the picture the same on the front and the back end, right? All that stuff is going to change post-snap. And a lot like Mike McDonald, everybody keeps bringing up Boye Mafe and DeMarcus Lawrence. Well, why is that? Because they have good coaches. Those coaches put those guys in position, and all their pressures come – a lot of Seattle stuff was sim pressures. A lot of that stuff was Devin Witherspoon coming and slants and all that. It wasn't their defensive ends just winning. Like, and don't get me wrong, Boye Mafe is a good player, Lou. You're right about that. He actually, I would have paid him.
But don't tell me
I would have paid him. I would have paid him before I would pay Owe. I'm scared of Owe versus the run. I think he's super. He got way out of our price range, and I'm glad Dallas didn't even do that. But to tie it all together, two teams that I look at with good defensive play callers, New England, Seattle, hopefully Dallas. Seattle has their top sack guy is Harold Landry and freaking Caleb Chason. 7 sacks, 8 sacks. New England, excuse me. Yeah, New England, excuse me. New England. I'm all over the place. It was my son's birthday. We just having a good time. So my point is, though, fellas, you need it all, but I think I lean to I want him. And then why do we keep forgetting that Quentin Williams and Kenny Clark on this defense?
And they can pass.
I know. I know.
We try to add to them.
We try to
bro.
add to that, but people forgetting you. Y'all come with Micah. Y'all want to mention how he ran on him, but I'm trying to pair.
I'm trying to pair somebody with
Lou.
Phil.
I'm trying to build the best front ever. I'm trying to build the best front ever.
Real calm. I'm gonna ask you a question because I know where Okoye is at. Me and Okoye talk about it. I want to ask you a question. You don't think that with 2 Ferraris, Rashawn Gary's gonna look better?
2 Hummers.
These
2 Hummers.
These are 2 smokers.
Actually,
yeah.
I'll give you a better example because I was gonna count.
You don't think the Edge
I was
get better?
gonna count it. Yeah, I'm gonna say no because I have a legit example.
You're crazy, Lou, and I love you, but you crazy.
He gonna lay the
I'm
case
gonna
down
lay
to
it
you.
out for you.
He gonna kill it on this.
Another Vic Fangio. Another Vic Fangio.
I already heard it.
Another Vic Fangio disciple actually did the plan we're trying to do. Actually, with leaning in with the run for his edges. You know who that was? Ejiro Evero for the Carolina Panthers. They were top in the league when it came to stopping the run. They were we couldn't run the ball on it at all. Nope. When you look at them, they have Derek Brown in the middle. Do you think Derek Brown's a great player? I think he's a wonderful player. They have J.C. Horn on the outside. They got Mike Jackson.
Who's the other D tackle? Do they have a D tackle that's as good as Kenny Clark?
Bobby Brown. Yeah, Bobby Brown. I believe he's one of the top nose tackles in the league. Giant guy.
He's not as good as Kenny Clark.
We couldn't move him.
We couldn't move him. He's saying that they
we couldn't.
What I'm saying is then
good middle, average edge, and then they got their ass dog walk.
But guess what? You know what? You know what? Actually, what came up in the playoffs? Their lack of pass rush.
Yep.
That's what hurt them in the playoffs when they faced the Rams. And they were up 31-28. I literally have the game
because they didn't have a closeout guy.
So we're doing exceptions and not the rule again, right? Let's get back. That's one. What else? Give me another example. Give me another example.
Actual working model of
what
the
actual
plan you got.
That's one.
Your plan. Your plan is saying we got the one tech. Let's stay cool on the
Why
edges.
acting like I'm tripping?
Cool with those
Give
guys.
me another one.
I'm like, no. I don't like
who was on the edge?
Like, go get us a guy with the guys in the middle.
Who were the edges for when they won 2 years ago? Who were the edges for KC?
Karlaftis, yes.
No, the edges. Like, so Karlaftis with 10.5 sacks, you would say he's an elite edge rusher?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, here's my issue with that. Hold on. Here's my issue with that. This is why I believe that argument is very disingenuous. What you're saying about
why you say it's disingenuous? That means I'm lying.
No. This is why let me explain. First of all, elite edge rushers.
I ain't lying.
Would you not say they're rare?
Elites are rare. Yeah.
Elite need to be defined.
Y'all don't want
how many?
That's like the women who say they want somebody at 6 foot, 6 figures, 6 inches.
Actually,
you know what I'm saying?
We got 3
Y'all
options.
ones looking for him, not me.
We got 3 options. We're gonna come back to that. We got 3 options in different tiers. But how many edge rushers you think is an elite tier? Like a number? 3, like 4, 3, 5?
Right now, it's like 5.
So my issue is why that argument is disingenuous, because that's a position of value. That's a diamond. When teams get those teams, they're elite. Yeah. So they cannot control their situation. So with that same logic, would you say that we don't need a Dak Prescott or Josh Allen?
I'm saying that you're saying that Karlaftis is not elite, right?
But I'm just saying you're saying
that Gary is not elite.
You're literally saying that since there's no elite edges in the Super Bowls, because Sam Darnold, who's not an elite quarterback, do we not need elite quarterbacks to win a Super Bowl?
You don't. No, you don't.
So my issue is if you're okay with that.
Many examples of non-elite quarterbacks.
Get one if you could.
So would you just choose to build a team without an elite quarterback if you had a chance to?
If you had a chance to.
Why would anybody choose to build a team without an elite quarterback? If you have no choice to.
Same reason why we're saying we're not going to build a team without an elite edge.
You have no choice, you do it. That's what I'm saying. Exactly. You just said they're rare.
Exactly.
If they're rare, you ain't gonna get one. So why would I hang my hat in my season on whether or not I get an elite pass rusher when I know they're not coming?
We didn't say that part. We're not saying that. If you can get one to add to Clark, to add to
that's like waiting for a bus that don't come. Do it. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not going to look at my team as if we don't know because we don't have an elite edge.
What it is,
you said that Josh Sweat was an elite edge earlier. Josh Sweat elite?
I said tier 2.
You said that.
I said tier 2.
No, you said elite.
I said tier 2.
It's on right now.
You got go play it on wax.
Yeah, I don't lie.
On the wax.
I don't lie.
Put the needle on the wax. I just said tier 2.
I'm about to go get it right now. See, hold on 1 second. I'm gonna get it for you. It's you, not me.
See, you said it. Foots have to go back to his son because
no, I'm gonna go get it because when I say something, I mean it. Like I told you. Watch this.
Damn, man, you got this man going all the way back to replay.
No, I'm on your Twitter right now. On your Twitter, Lou. Right here. Let me see.
Some of my short. You talking about my short?
Man, listen.
Oh,
Hold on. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you.
I'm listening to it right now. Hold on a second.
See, he can find the clip, man. You got Okoye in war mode, bro. Damn. Hey, I love it though. I love it.
This man here.
The more gangster, the better. But
I say he can
also real quick, shout out to Foots. He did make some time. His son's birthday today, bro.
Yeah.
So, like to even pop in like that. So I say this too. We definitely got to do this again, like with film, though. That's the ultimate. We gonna run this back with film, bro.
He didn't use the word elite. He used top tier. That's what you said.
Man,
top tier. Is he top tier? Or who's top tier?
We need to pause, bro. We need to do part 2, bro. We're not gonna get nowhere with the spirit of this. We're not gonna get.
Josh is a premier pass rusher, and he's top tier. I don't think so. I don't.
When I say premier, I mean somebody who can lead off the room.
That ain't what premier mean.
That's
you know
what I'm telling you.
That ain't what top tier mean, bro.
I say
middle tier. We've been saying lead dog the
whole time. Tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Somebody is mid tier. That's Josh Sweat.
I don't think there's 3 tiers. Yeah, I don't think there's 3 tiers. That's what
How many tiers is it then?
Because at the top of there, I have
no, he getting you. You was always clear on lead, dog. He really defined it, bro. Don't let him get you, dog. We ain't finna get into some.
You said he was miles away.
Always been on one in the league.
Being miles away from Rashawn Gary mean you in your whole career since 2019, you got 55 sacks. He got 46.5, and that means that those extra 9 sacks makes you miles away from Gary. Now
I don't use numbers as a measurement. I told you that.
His miles away from Gary since 2019. Max Crosby, he got 133 or some shit like that. But that's miles away. 9 sacks away is not miles of anything.
If you're gonna use numbers, so
I'm saying this shit.
Max Crosby didn't have a lot of sacks this year either. So I guess Gary is we're gonna use numbers, right? I guess Gary's in the same.
About this year. I just talk about since 2019.
I said you over here using numbers. At the end still means is he's in that Crosby? Is he in that Crosby tier?
Who?
See,
Gary.
Y'all wrapped up in
that's a laughable conversation. Now you playing again, bro. You playing. Go play the word game. You be moving around a lot. Stop moving too much, man. You shifty.
I need a whistle, man.
You a shifty ball, man. You a shifty ball. This boy is shifty, bro. You was a shifty ball. He keep moving the goalposts. He's like, oh, nope. Almost got me. Almost got me. Yeah, I see you, bro. Hold on.
My point is, we're not saying that elite either. We have 3 names. Like we have a guy for that top dog.
Let's discuss these names too.
We have 3 names. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
See, because I want to keep this real too. What I'm saying.
All right, go ahead.
It's one thing I trust on my boy Okoye, but I verify. My brother, when I put out names, he go put the work in. So we excited to tell you these names. All right, let's go. Let's get it. Let's lace them.
Who y'all want?
Okay,
get a pen for you.
Here we go. Let's go.
Yeah, and I want public film from you. You know, here's one name I think.
We got the pen out. Who the name? What name we got that we got to look up?
All right.
Go ahead. I'm serious.
Here's one that we think is very realistic. Kevon Thibodeau.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. He's in a loaded room.
I like Thibodeau.
He's in a loaded room over there in New York. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Why is he in a loaded room? Because he had the opportunity to take that room. And they still had to keep drafting them motherfuckers after him. Why? Why you think they drafted Carter? If Thibodeau was doing his job, you think Carter get drafted last year?
No, I think
they can say no to Carter.
Yeah, that's because Thibodeau wasn't doing his job, so somebody else had to come in and do it with him.
We want to say no to if we have Law and Parsons, we gonna say no to Carter. I just think you're not gonna say no to Carter. That
means you was losing and you still in a position to take Carter, don't it?
Yeah.
I mean, they're
talking about that too, right? You got Max Crosby, who you talking about, right? Yes. I think he got 1 playoff appearance in his career. I think. You got
that as a means
0-5. Hold on. TJ Watt is 0-5. The premier guys I'm talking about. The premier ones, the real premier ones. The real premier ones ain't premiering, ain't they? They don't premiere nowhere in the playoffs.
Stop.
Because TJ Watt is 0-5 in the playoffs, ain't he? 0-5. Hold on. They got
super chat too, bro.
I got 1 playoff win.
I see 2 super chats.
You got Myles Garrett, who I think got 1. But at the end of the day, all those guys collectively for all of their playoff appearances, they got 2 wins between the top 4 of those guys in the playoffs. So how the hell you need one of them when the 4 of them that everybody need that's rare ain't got no damn playoff win?
Wow, playoff wins for DN stat now.
They ain't got none. Where they at? If we need it so bad, why they don't win? Why they not winning?
Oh no!
Why they not winning?
I know.
Why the elite pass rushers ain't winning?
I know.
I'm asking you. Y'all not answering. Y'all saying,
I'm gonna answer the question.
Enlighten me. Why they not winning?
That's a wild ass statement.
But give me.
Wait, because Lou, you taking shots and we got to get to an answer.
Do they have playoff wins or not? Wild or not? Do they have them?
Playoff wins for a fucking edge is wild.
What are you talking about? Ain't they difference makers that we need to move the needle in the next 3 years? How we need them so bad when they ain't doing where they at?
There's a real answer to this.
Let me hear it.
So this is the answer. When you're dealing with elite pass rushers, they're like quarterbacks. You don't let them go. So even if you're in a debt spiral like what Matthew Stafford was in Detroit, you still do what most teams do and you pay them even if they're in a hellhole.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that
you were saying why they've
been where they at for so long, right?
Yeah, but they only can do their job to the max. We can do Dak like that, and you never would. You never would say, "Hey, why Dak ain't win it?" You would do Dak like that. You would.
I'm talking about you. I'm not talking about one player. I'm not saying, one player is supposed to win it all. No, I'm not. I'm saying y'all argument is that what would make us better and what would solidify us is if we get an elite pass rusher or a strong pass rush, right? Because that's what we need in the playoffs, or that's what we need to go far for these 3 years that we got Dak left. That's y'all argument.
No.
Where does it happen at?
See, what you also doing, Okoye, you putting some words in our mouth that we not saying. We never said anything about Parker. I don't like when people do that we never talk down on Gary. All right, so it's like
I'm gonna let you qualify it, not me. Go ahead.
Okay, all right. So basically, I'm saying, and I'm being very specific on what we need a pass rusher for. First of all, because historically, which all of us are pattern people know that Vic defense performed better when he had a lead dog, and we calling the lead dog a guy that's tend to get sack performance and pressure performance.
Does that guy need to be able to stop the run too?
I would say yes. I would say yes. And I love that because that means that's going to put you to work to go find that guy. And that's when you at your best. So the reason why I also want a pass rusher, because first of all, that's when Vic Fangio systems got off, right? His trees get off also better that way. The other thing I would say is because of situations that I don't really know that we're prepared for. Like, for instance, closeout situations, closing out at the halves when teams trying to come back. I'm not certain that we have that tool in our toolbox. That's what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying? On why I really want us to get us a lead dog that I can trust, not just on stopping the run, but in addition to that, to win when we need him to win on third down. Or such a force that you have to slant his way aggressively on third downs that causes even more one-on-ones with the other guys. So it's a whole, like,
I know what's going on.
We have a void in my opinion of what we need to be truly contending with this defense now.
All right, I'll get what you're saying, but listen, we had that same dynamic. I don't know why you don't remember that. We just had it with DQ. When we were up, you wasn't coming back. We pinned our ears back. We coming to get you. It was NASCAR all day. But when we were close, the game, we struggled in the games when it was close. Like a game like Seattle just had with New England in the Super Bowl, those types of games cook us. When we had that type of game against the 49ers, we gave up 143 rushing yards, something like that. They cooked us. The Packers cooked us the same way. When we have those types of games where we seem like we're trying to stay in it, those were the games we struggled against. How we struggle in those games? But the games when we playing a bum team, you're not coming back. Because we had a pass rush that could pin his ears back and come get you. But pass rush with no run stop don't get you nowhere. Now, y'all said,
we already got the run stop.
We already got the run stop.
I just was about to say, I just said we sealed up the run game, right? But even the pass rush was better with Quentin Williams. Quentin Williams was getting to the quarterback. He was calling pressure. So was Kenneth Carr.
But didn't you just say at the beginning of this whole entire argument that when we talk about pressures, you don't talk about D tackles? So why am I hearing Quentin Williams' name?
I'm talking about I'm talking about from the edge. We don't need one.
When you told me to give you examples about the Super Bowl, you told me not to mention D tackles. So why, when we're talking about pressure,
did I say that?
You're mentioning
Quentin Williams. D tackles when
you told me not to mention D tackles.
I said when I'm talking about elite pass rusher, because y'all talking about an edge rusher, we're not talking about tackles.
So
I didn't say that tackles
getting
to the quarterback don't count, bro.
Why are you mentioning Quentin Williams now?
You wrong. I'm gonna let you have it.
I'm wrong.
I said that. I said my words online was talking about y'all saying that we don't get an elite edge rusher, that we're not going to be good. That's why I excluded. We already got one. I didn't say don't mention them. I said we got one in Quentin Williams. Like we got a Leonard Williams in Quentin Williams is what I said. I didn't say don't mention it because it don't count.
Hold on, Lou. Let me say this.
I know what I say, bro.
Let me say this because okay, Koye.
I know exactly what I said.
Koye, check this out. This is the vision that I'm trying to like paint. Okay. I totally agree with you on the Quentin Williams as a pass rusher, as pressure in the middle. I agree with you on that. The vision that I'm trying to add to that is when he's in that third down situation, having a team try to account for his big ass and an edge that we feel good can win in that situation.
Don't he make the edge better though by making?
He does make it better, but yes, he makes it better.
And why I keep saying we only rushing forward too?
Because generally in his approach at Vic Fangio's, he want to get out the U with 4. That's why we've been saying that. Not saying that we don't have a bird front and that we didn't morph to a bird front. I agree with that. But what I'm saying is, and you right though. Yes, of course he makes it one-on-ones for the guys on the outside. That's why I went to the key question is, do you trust those guys? So you said you do. So because you do, we just
gonna say why. So this is what we have short-term memory in our fan base, and it happens a lot. Right now, we saying we need an elite corner, right? Now everybody's trying to get Jermod McCoy, who has the same injury that Revel had, right? Last year they loved Revel. Now all of a sudden we need another one, right? Before we even see what he can do. Last year, y'all loved Ezeraku. Now all of a sudden, we want to see what he can do. You know what? You know how many sacks Josh Sweat had in his first year? 0. You know how many Gary had in his first year? 2. So how many did Ezeraku have? 2. Do that mean he's gonna have 2 this year? Now, if he has 2 this year with Quentin Williams in a full off season and he understanding what's going on, then I will definitely judge him for that. But did I think that Ezeraku pickup was a good pick last year? Yeah. And I still do.
Yeah.
So when you say, I trust him? Did I trust him last year? Did I like the pick last year, or didn't I? I liked the pick last year, and I still like it today because he hasn't developed yet. He is developing now. He's in the second year. He's supposed to take a step.
He got injured though. We don't have that added context. The injury, we gonna just the injury context.
Is he gonna sit out the season from the injury?
Is it not gonna affect him?
Is he sitting out the season?
You just said that you just used that same context. You just used the same context for Sam Williams, did you not?
He ain't got an ACL tear, bro.
I'm just saying he has an injury, does he not? And with that same logic, what you're saying with Josh Allen, you were literally coming in here saying that you trust some of these rookie rushers from the draft.
All sacks ain't created equal,
in circles,
and all injuries ain't created equal either, bro. You know that. Stop it.
It's a hip. So the edge rusher don't need his hip.
Well, hold on.
He's gonna be healthy by the end of the year.
If Okoye,
he's not hurt right now.
If Okoye said that he liked the pick, he right on that because we all like the pick.
We like the pick, but
we all like the pick. So let's talk about that for a second. So in liking the pick, this is where I just don't trust anybody in that front within the first 3 years. I don't. I always want us to target veterans when we trying to get somebody to be a difference maker. I don't believe in drafting to fill a need anywhere on those trenches, anywhere. I always say go with a vet.
Even with the room that we have right now, there's a bunch of veterans that's going to school these guys. If you don't think bringing a guy in the rotate, even if he a dog, he don't gotta be a lead dog. Because this is my point.
You could bring in Moses.
Take a guy who
I wouldn't trust anybody within the first 3 years, dude. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I believe that certain things, to like Vach always said, he called it what? Peanut butter, right?
Oh yeah,
I call it baked potatoes. It's certain things just take time.
Yeah.
Like that's why Osa took 3 years, because to get that man body, to get used to that wear, to get adjusted from going from 10 games in college to 17 and then maybe to the playoffs.
I get that.
D-Law.
I agree.
So
I agree with that. But when I
I'm not
asked you,
looking for no
makes
rookie. I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for somebody that's gonna come in here that I feel strongly can win on third downs, to be that guy that when Quentin Williams is going to get that attention, that it creates this great advantage on the edge. Not just the fact that they go have a one-on-one because of Quentin Williams. It's the fact that they had a one-on-one and likely getting ready to lose it.
I understand that, but okay. I asked you earlier though. I said, would you take a defensive end that's on? I mean, an outside linebacker that's only a pass rusher? You said no, right? If a guy is a top tier pass rusher and a run stopper, you would want that's a run stopper and a pass rusher.
I would want that. I would want both.
But those are the guys that are like reindeer. They're rare to find one that can do both at a top level. D-Law don't pass rush at a top level. He's a top level run stopper though. You know what I'm saying? And then pass rush, he like a C. He good though, right? Yeah. So you don't find it too often.
And that goes to the point why I want us to be aggressive.
If you said that they're rare, Lou, and y'all said they're rare. We not. So I would say that we like we on a stranded island and we like, let's wait for a plane. I'm like, let's build a raft because a plane might not come. They rare, bruh. So I'm not waiting for the guy who can pop out the woods, who can stop the run into the elite pass rusher. That might not happen, but can we generate it or create it another way if that doesn't come? Because obviously, if they wanted Max Crosby, he would be here. They're not going to go do it. So if they're not going to do it, why I'm going to hang my hat on something that I know not coming?
Nah, it's not even hanging your hat on just him. That's why we gave multiple options for it. So it's
who is. So we don't get Max Crosby. Who is a free agent right now that you would be satisfied with?
No free agent white. So that's why we're talking. Okay, so that goes to the.
What if the teams who's on the trading block that you would?
That's why we talking right now.
Other than Max Crosby.
Sweat is on the trading block.
They are rumored right now. You can Google it right now.
Highsmith
that it's been all kinds.
The only one you named that I like is Highsmith. Go ahead.
Yeah, Highsmith. And I like them too. I was just concerned about his injury history.
Me too.
Okay,
very concerned.
That was it. That was it. I said I would take him. That he got leaked today too. He got leaked as a potential for Dallas, which is good.
Who else?
So we told you Thibodeau, Sweat.
I got those three.
Alex, then Nick,
Nick who?
Herbie.
Okay.
Yeah, so Nick Herbie, we looked at, and these are people that you would have to go make a bid for, which is the point in which we're making about being aggressive to actually go do a deal. And hear me out, Okoye. If you was willing to give up, which the Dallas Cowboys allegedly was, willing to give up a first and a second and Osa for Crosby, we would be fools, in my opinion, and just keep all our eggs in the Crosby basket. So to me, to me, it's like, all right, we go aim for Crosby, but
you're not aiming for Crosby no more.
No.
I'm just
hear me out. No, just hear me out. You aim for that in terms of letting the message be known that we want a high level guy, right? So it's more kind of like marketing on that. But at the same time, you aim for that, you make noise about that, but you also letting it out that, hey, bro, I'll take Thibodeau, I'll take Sweat. Now you might talk me out of Sweat, because see, I could tell you see Sweat different, and I know you, Koye. I hear you. Listen, Koye, I hear you, and I trust you. When you making that eye like that, you doing it based on your analysis of what
I've been watching Sweat since he said he was top. He was premier. I've been watching him
body language.
I've been watching him, Lou. For you, Lou. That's for you.
I do not agree.
I've been watching him since he said he was premier.
I was staying on. So
you got
right now.
I love it. I love it.
I'm just saying, I like that.
Having this business conversation, it's about having multiple options of trying to be aggressive to get a guy. And that's why we want to talk to you, homie. We want to talk to you because I knew this was going to be a high level.
We can't rap yet because we got super chats, because I hear you trying to rap my show, man. I hear he said that's why we wanted. He's talking to the past tense. That's when you check out breaking up what you said. We used to be. I loved you. You know what I'm saying? Just speaking in the past.
Bro, you tripped.
I got
you. Super chat. Let's go ahead and eat them.
Go ahead.
You know what else I think we should do? We should do this again. Do this with film. And we got a lot of people watching, man, across multiple platforms, man. It's a dope showing. And but the reason why people showed up, because they knew we was gonna all be real.
Oh
That's
no, yeah,
why they
100.
showed
I
up.
ain't
They
going to
knew,
you know what I
they
mean?
knew
I
that once
respect
we
it.
got to a point of disagreements, we was gonna all start swinging, bro.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I wish Foots could have made it with his,
Yeah, I
with
need a backup. Y'all tried to jump me, man, on the humbug.
oh,
So
look
y'all
at
did it.
you looking
Y'all
for
did it on some
sympathy.
New
Ain't
York
nobody
shit too.
jump you,
Y'all
dog.
came in all polite. I was like, oh, this is lovely.
Yeah,
This might be a great
Man,
conversation. I was speaking with my inside voice. I was talking like I was getting in a job interview. Lou was talking all nice. He got the glasses on. He got the young boy face and shit. He looking like, hey, I'm chilling. But then he started trying to hit me. He started punching me and shit. Like, yo, this boy crazy. I said, this kind. I like this kind of shit. Let it go. I told you I laugh
we
when I
gonna
get
get
punched in
Foots
the
in
face.
here, bro, or we gonna
All
find
good.
some other ally at a box.
It's all good. You know what I mean?
I get a
But
backup.
hey, Okoye, I straight enjoyed it though.
I did
straight
too.
enjoyed it, bro.
This is what
And,
I do, man.
Yeah,
This is what I
and
do.
this man, and this is why this gonna always be my dog, bro. Cause see, we neither one of us go back down ever. If we believe it, we go squab. And
Yeah,
see,
we
I
going.
like that we got your juices going. I know you're gonna have 2 film sessions in the morning.
But here's my last thing, right? Because I still only got 4 people on this list. But I look at those guys and I say, can 2 guys or 1 guy outproduce them for me this season? Do y'all think that getting one of those guys, because they ain't elite, so getting one of those guys is how much of a difference maker then? They elite.
Big time, because you adding them with the ghost watcher. So like I'm trying to get people with upside potential with the best teachers. Yeah. I'm not trying to get a guy that's starting to level off and maybe go down. You know what I'm saying? So that's the vision of trying to get this pass rusher, homie, is trying to get somebody that when we trying to close out games, we got somebody for that. When we have that 3rd and long where we know they finna double Quentin Williams to try to take away the interior, we got a super one-on-one guy. So it's like, I want to fill all the holes that we might need. You see what I'm saying? That we might need. Because see,
you got another super one-on-one guy in Kenny Clark too, though, right?
Might not need it, but it's better to need it. It's and better to have it and not.
Yeah, I'd rather be a warrior in the garden than a gardener in the war. I do agree.
That's where we coming from. That's all we coming from. And really, honestly, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. If we can then shake hands on some of these guys, I would even want just us to even like have a conversation on who could fit that we still need to potentially do in free agency.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say that we don't need nothing as far as I think we need a linebacker, we need a corner. Even going into the draft, we should go and pick up one if they're available, even if he another space.
Do you agree that because could you, because I think you're on the side. Do you think we can fill the Mike role in the draft solely?
No, because we're too thin at Mike right now. We need the room. We need a Mike room.
You said the depth, but I'm saying like is somebody. Do you think there's somebody in this draft that can come in and lead off?
Yeah, I think Rodriguez. If you would have got Rodriguez, I would take Rodriguez all day. Rodriguez is my lead dog. Why? I don't even know him, so I like Rodriguez. My lead dog before was CJ Allen because I said he's not as fast or twitchy as as Sonny Styles, but I haven't seen him block successfully. But he don't make it look cute. He just a solid guy. He remind me of Rolando McClain, just solid. He like you can't block him. He just sturdy, but not flashy. Yeah. When you look at Jacob Rodriguez, he do the same shit. You can't block him, but he make it look good. It's just like it's so crazy. To me, but another guy that you might get day 2 that I like is I like Josh Trotter. I like linebackers that you can't block. Joshua Trotter too. So all 4 of those guys, if I wound up with them in the draft, CJ Allen, Rodriguez, Joshua Trotter, or Styles, I wouldn't be mad. Yeah. But I still do think that we should go get that kid from New York, 58, whatever his name is.
Oh, Bobby?
You like Bobby?
I just need we need a veteran in that room. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to lead. I don't want to go into the season with a rookie head in that room. I want him learning. Because here's the problem: when you want a room to do well, I remember when even Kenny Clark was talking last year, talking about the guys that kind of schooled him to the game when he first came in, taught him how to be a pro. When we liked Jalen Smith and we liked LVE, Sean Lee was schooling them on how to be a pro. I don't necessarily need that guy to be a world beater on the field, but I do need a guy that teaches whoever my guy is how to be a pro. Thomas Davis taught Luke Kuechly how to be a pro. Thomas Davis taught him that. You know what I'm saying? How to prepare.
You think Wagner? You think Wagner's? I don't.
I would take Wagner just because of the same reason I'm just saying. But Wagner is he's if you're talking about watching film, preparing, taking care of your body, showing somebody how to be a pro. Wagner is the prototype, so I would take Wagner all day for that.
I do have a little bit of concern of a progress stopper, but they usually wouldn't
I would. That's why I said I don't need the guy to be the guy that's going to be my starter.
Right.
But I do need him to be a guy.
Right.
Like I was looking into Kobe Dean like that, but I heard he don't want to be here. But or he didn't.
I love Dean. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I don't love him because of the injuries. But I like Dean, and I thought that because he knows Christian Parker's scheme, he would be that guy that kind of comes in and teaches everybody how to rock and roll.
I called him an overpay guy.
So I would have loved that in our locker room just to have him. But not getting him is cool. And I think that's part of the reason, because I think the reason we still thin at middle linebackers because they expect to take a leap at middle linebacker in their first round, one of those picks.
Now,
unless they, they're going to do it. And I think they must have leaked that to Dean, where he thinks like he already had the problem with not starting consistently over there in Philly. That's what his problem was.
Right.
He don't want to come here and rotate with nobody. He want to be that guy. So if they told him, hey, would you mind sharing space with somebody? I don't think he want to do that.
That's good.
That's probably why he ain't want to be here.
Real quick, Okoye, one thing that I know you stand on 1,000% is the Morris Leo foul campaign. Now, I do know that he could play some outside linebacker. I see more. Yeah, I know.
Maybe
listen, bro. He know where we put him. I already know where we at on that because I'm with you on that.
Yeah,
I'm with you on that, bro. Like,
yeah.
I think I'm with you on that. Like,
talking about him too. I be hearing.
But I want to stab at you and your research on this. I still like him more on the inside. I like him.
I do too.
Okay, I knew that. Like,
I do too. I don't think he outside linebacker, but I know why they're using him that way, because the guy that's on the tight end side of the field or the running back release or playing spill, they want that guy to be athletic, able to drop back in coverage and do some things, but also be stout versus the run. That's what he is. Like, you can't block him. And then if you look at how teams have used Luvu, I look at him the same. I look at him as that type of guy if you put him outside, where he's not a pass rush specialist. I think Luvu obviously a better pass rusher, but he's stout at the point of attack, where Morris is going to still get you hustle sacks because of his speed and his strength. And if you try to block him with a tight end or a running back, he's going to smack that every time. So he's going to get his opportunities because of that. Because if you're looking at a 5-man line and you got Morris out there, they slide into the other 4 every time. So he always going to catch the running back or the tight end or a pulling guard trying to trap him or something. He's not going to get tackles on a regular basis. And I don't see Morris consistently just smacking tackles. But tight ends, he going to smack that. He going to smack that. Morris hasn't been blocked. Last year, he only had 10 snaps a game, maybe 15 snaps a game. At max is 15. But he hasn't been blocked successfully yet. I haven't seen Morris get smacked up or pancake, none of that. And he's smacking shit. You know what I mean? So I do like Morris a lot. I agree that he's better in the middle, but I think the only way that's going to happen, and it might, only because it always does, the only way it's going to happen is when we get in training camp and CP sees it for himself and then decides to play around that way, or an injury happens where they say, all right, he got the experience, let's move him over there. But I think Morris is our middle linebacker. If you said that we were going into the season with Morris, that middle linebacker, I would say we don't even need a linebacker in the first round.
1,000,000% agree.
I would say that right now. Dang. But they're not calling him a little linebacker, so that's the problem.
Yes.
But if you make him a little linebacker, I look at him and Demo. If they were in the middle, they are linebackers of the future right there. Yeah. You need another guy in that room, and then you can go get a Trotter in the second round, third round, wherever, and put him in that room. Then you got a solid middle linebacker rotation right there between those 3 guys, right?
Why do you think that? Because I think this is 2 DCs now. Like this is not the DC. This is shoddy. You know what I'm saying? It's not see him as a Mike. Like, why do you think that?
Why do I say they don't see him as a Mike? Because Morris is wild, and they probably look at him as like you want a Mike that's like a field general that's controlled, and Morris is like he a shooter. He a guy that you take with you to go start some shit. He not the guy that he not going to de-escalate. He ain't going to delegate, none of that. He coming. He's a hammer, and everything he see is a nail. That's why. Because they looking at it like, yo, we don't think you can't even control yourself. How you gonna control and be the general for this defense? You can't control yourself. You wild. He is wild. So I think that's why. And they say, all right, instead of having him run my team, we do like it. So put him out on the edge and just let him run free and do what he want to do. That's why they put him on the outside. But his responsibilities out there, like every time Morris is in the game, he a spark. He a spark.
Wherever teams, wherever. Like literally wherever. And you know the thing that I love that you said the other day, bro, that I wish I could just come to Philly and dap you up and then go
You
back to
can,
Dallas.
I'll show you around, man.
Man,
You know
I
how you
swear
run
to
the strip
God,
over
bro,
there. Yeah, some fuck that. Hey, go
when you
ahead.
said these type of plays supposed to earn you more starting positions, bro. Like,
Yeah.
that spark shit. See,
yes.
that's honestly old school, like where Kenny Gant and them and Bill Bates and them, they really wasn't athletic, but their special teams and the dopeness and the sparks made you sometimes see them on a dime package. They made that, like, it's honestly,
You know
not
who
enough
did
of
that
us talking about Florida.
that shine that did that real well? That Super Bowl against the Pittsburgh Steelers, I think 95. It was a dude named Scott Case, number 25. He was not the guy, but he earned his spot and he was smacking shit in the Super Bowl, bro. I
Yeah.
never seen him since or before, but I was like, who the hell is Scott Case? This boy came in smacking shit.
Yeah.
I said, oh my God.
And that's how
So
it's supposed to do.
yeah, but when
Because
you
like
come
you
and make
showed that
even
key
Roy
play for
Williams,
Green
I
Bay
wasn't
when he
watching
blew that
football no
dude
more.
up.
I wasn't
and
watching
turned the
football.
momentum.
Roy Williams, when we got Roy
Yeah, he
Williams,
was
and
a
I
smart
was
guy.
watching him. I was just watching the game, just sitting there laying down when they just watching the game. I would have
Ooh.
never been doing this if it wasn't for Roy Williams.
Yeah, he woke
Roy
you up.
Williams, I said, who the fuck is 31? Every time he hits, he hitting guards,
Yeah.
fullback, he hit anybody. I said,
Yeah.
whoever 31 made me love watching football. So
Exactly.
that type of guy earns his spots, although Roy Williams came here to play. But
Right.
guys like that should be able to earn a spot
their
on the
spot,
field.
right.
And the fact that Morris had the first season that he had to follow that up with, to reward that with a ride on the bench,
That's
was wild.
wow.
That was insane.
And I
Wow.
know people who know Zimmer, and Zimmer was calling like, yo, why is this guy on the bench?
Crazy. I believe it,
He's
bro.
asking, why is your best linebacker on the bench? He's our
And that's
best
why I
linebacker
said
right now. And
it
I know
retarded
people
me.
think that Demo is better. Demo is an injury problem, and Demo is a will. He's a will only, in my opinion.
Weak side, yep.
And Morris can play every linebacker position you got, so that makes him better, in my opinion, because overall he could play at a high clip at any position you put him at.
Yep.
But
I said
Football
myself that when Overshawn went out, we didn't even miss Overshawn.
yeah.
Oh yeah, when he filled his role with
We
Zimmer,
didn't even
yeah.
miss him. Like,
Yeah.
he was dope. Obviously, Overshawn was dope, but
Yeah.
we didn't feel that void when he stepped in. Super chat. Somebody said a Koye for $5. Appreciated. Joker World said, you mentioned the Chiefs, but Lou mentioned a real life disciple of Fangio, dude on the Panthers, and they needed pass rush. So
Yeah, I said that's an exception. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. I'm saying that consistently, if you can stop the run from the interior and you can create pressure from the interior, even if your edges ain't the greatest, the Eagles just did it. You know what I'm saying? Their edges weren't killing, and Seattle just did it. I think that KC has done it. You know what I'm saying? Those guys, like when you look at Chris Jones is a beast in the middle. You can't step up in the pocket. So that only makes your guys outside better. Obviously, they're not going to get there as fast. The shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. So they're not going to get there as fast as Chris Jones. But you got guys on the outside that are good. They don't need to be great if you got greatness on the inside. You need greatness somewhere up there. Aaron Donald was a beast. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at guys that can create havoc in the A gap, if you got one of them, you got something. But you got two, oh, it's a problem. And right now, when I look at Ogbo just being there on first and second down, now you got a problem because Ogbo, even though he's not a pass rusher, you can't disrespect him and block him with one guy. He can't be blocked with one guy. He's gonna smack that. He's not gonna get to the quarterback, but he's gonna make it so those other two guys, if you get a free look or a one-on-one look between KC and Quentin, they winning one-on-ones all day. I got that on film last year when we didn't have those guys. We had Morris on the outside and whoever was rotating on the other side on certain plays. But when you look at those games, when we spread them out and we brought five, even if that fifth guy was just pressing or stretching the tight end or stretching the flat, when you brought five guys, those other four guys got one-on-ones and they was smacking shit when they did that. So that's what my point was, is like, you're not going to be able to continuously block Quentin Williams and Kenny Clark one-on-one in any sense of the imagination. Even if the other guy over there is just a guy that's taking up a tackle or taking up a block, you still going to have a problem on your hands. So I'm not worried because of that. Now, do I think we need to add something to the room? Yeah, but when I look around, I don't know who you would add that makes sense. That nobody on the free agency I would take. Then those four guys, if you can get them, great. But do they come in and move the needle so much that you don't want Ezraku on the field? No, I'll still want Ezra. I don't want them to progress stop Ezraku. I want
wait. You wouldn't take Thibodeau right now over Ezraku?
No. I want to see what Ezraku can do this season. I think Ezraku last year when he put on film, Yeah, I wouldn't
Hold
take.
on, let me hit the super chat, bro. See, we go keep fighting.
I don't want a
Okoye,
progress stopper. I want to see what.
nah, he will have to just rotate with him, not even stop his progress. But
He gonna stop somebody's progress. He gonna stop his,
the lead dog got to be Thibodeau, bro.
somebody.
I'm not putting no hip replacement. You know he ain't got a hip replacement. You know what I mean?
You got a hip replacement now. You know what I'm saying? All
Yeah, you know
injury
that,
trained
yeah.
people,
No,
I mean?
you said Crosby was 31, bro. You went crazy.
How old is Crosby?
He 28.
Oh, he's 20. I thought he's 31. I thought he was older. I did. I thought he's 31. That was my bad. You know what I mean?
Boys playing dirty, man. Boys playing dirty. Like,
yeah. I say he's 31.
Clark and
31 with bad knees. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, here you go, bro.
I'm joking though.
He had to go tap this man on the shoulder for him to get that surgery, man. It's crazy.
Okoye, Clark, and Williams with those max eats. That's what somebody said to you, bro. I don't know what that means.
Max eats.
And then somebody just gave us a super chat, said this is fire. Of course. Appreciate
he was saying that with Max, if Clark and Quinn Williams had Max outside, they're gonna eat. I agree with that 100%.
Ooh,
so let's just put that. Does Okoye want Max Crosby if you could get him without giving up both your first round picks and George Pickens? Sure. Would I give up George Pickens and 2 first rounds for Max Crosby? No. Not a goddamn chance. No. I would not
all of that. That was never.
We never pitched that part.
That was never.
That's all I'm saying. I would never.
That was never a suggestion.
But do I want him? Sure. If if you say, yo, we got a package, we gonna give up the 20th pick for him, and we get a second round for. I do that.
That's what they offered. See,
something like that. I do that.
And that's what they offered.
Give up both first rounders. I would not give up both my first rounders with a defensive. This is a deep defensive draft. Now y'all would say it's deep, so you could probably get talent later. I say it's deep. I want the top end of this deep talent. You know what I'm saying? And I want it in the first round. That's just me.
Yeah. So that was all the super chats, man. Listen, I enjoyed it. I'm gonna go ahead and give my final words and say this. I still definitely want us to go after a lead dog, more so because of Vic and the historicals on him. And I'm gonna continue to push for that. That's my goal. And if they don't, though, I'm gonna say this: I'm gonna ride with what we got. I'm gonna ride like for what we got. But into the meantime, while we in the midst of trying to upgrade, that's what I'm pushing for right now. And I'm excited to do more content in the future with you, big dog. Hopefully, we really grind out this film on a dirty level.
No, I know, really. I'm dead serious, bro.
I want to grind that
tonight. I'm not playing, bro.
And I ain't talking about no clips. I'm talking about we gonna grind this
impact only. So look at the body of his work in that game and show me the impact plays, both good, bad, and ugly. So then just show me the good impact plays. Show me when he got ran over for a touchdown or for 12 yards in a crucial play too. I put all that in there. Let's see it all.
All right. And so then on my other part of my final word is this. To me, this is how you're supposed to do it. Exactly how you're supposed to do it. So, because this happens where we're over here shooting for what we believe in. Then my brother shoots for what he believes in. We accidentally take shots at each other. Yeah. It's not intentional. It's just what we believe.
Luke came with the AR today.
Yeah. It was gay.
I said, yo.
I love that's my dog, man. I rock with Luke. That's my dog. I love it.
Hey, that's it. Oh shit. God damn, he started off calm too. He just came out throwing haymakers after that. I said, damn,
that's how he fight. That's my dog.
Yeah.
Listen, man. If you watch,
I thought you were saying like because you was like, yeah, we gonna make it cordial. I thought you were saying me be cordial. I didn't know you were saying Lou gonna come throw a rock at you. I didn't know what you meant. Like Lou,
that's why
I rock with him all day because he like that.
That's no. Like I said, I told you I'm the type of person. I don't take stuff like that person. This ain't personal. It's football, man.
It's and I know we all like to fight too. That's authentic. Like that's authentic. Like, but the main thing I want to say, I'm gonna be part of my.
They said I ain't read Buddy super chat. Hold on one second. It's one guy. He said, "How much Clownish production do y'all credit to playing with Quinn and KC? And with that, where's the ceiling for Gary? I like Gary for Q and KC."
Good question.
Y'all answer that for me real quick because I do want to respect the fact.
The good thing I will say is that Gary, that's why I always said Gary was good. Because Gary, if he can maintains, is gonna be a reliable piece of the edge room. So I'm not gonna take reliable off his name. He's generally gonna get you by 7 to 8. And what Okoye made the biggest case on is that you could also rely on him on the run game. So that's where he's kind of making a correlation to D-Law. He's not calling him D-Law, he calling them tank-ish And because remember, I say stuff like that ish from a standpoint to where he can
Tank
stop.
is the prototype.
But his hustle, the fact that he does work with the ghostwriter, he gonna get you by 7 to 8. I just don't trust that as enough to be our trusted lead dog. I don't. I think he's a plateaued guy, and I want a little bit more from getting after the passer. That's what I want. I want somebody to help him. I don't want him to be the guy. I want him to be one of the guys. So in my vision of what this team needs, to answer that question as well. So I'm not saying he go melt, because anybody would take 7 to 8 sacks. Any one of us would take that.
I mean, Sweat gonna give you 7 to 8 too. That's what I said. Yeah, I like that.
10.5 last year, but and was more explosive to me. But I didn't look at his run stopping, so I'm incomplete with all my work on him, just to be all the way fair and balanced. Right. But on my final word, my major part is this. This is how to do it in the content space. If we even accidentally shoot each other, guess what me and Okoye you gonna do?
Pull the film out.
Hey, link up. Link up. You see it different than me. Meet me in the arena. And that's what we did. And I enjoyed it, man. And I think the fans really learned a lot. And likely you ain't changed. I promise you. I don't think we really kind of won nobody, lost nobody today.
I'm still where I was standing there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure because I'm right where the same too. Yeah. But people saw how men get down. That's the main part. People saw how men get down.
This is how men, this is how it's supposed to be. You supposed to be able to disagree. We ain't never gonna agree on everything. Otherwise, my name would be Lou and Lou's name would be Darius. You know what I'm saying? It don't work like that. So at the end of the day, we do our thing. You supposed to stand, and if you wouldn't stand up for what you think or what you saw or what film that you watch, how good are you at it? So I'm glad you got some conviction. I don't take that personal. I just say we ain't gonna argue about it. Let's just prove it with the film and let's get it over with. And I look to be contradicted, so don't think that bothers me. If you right, I'm gonna tell you, you got that one. You know what I'm saying? No problem. No problem. I was wrong about Dak. I started off talking shit about Dak. I love Dak now. How you think it happened? Film. Just watching him, he got better. Now, if he didn't, I would still be on his ass, though. You know what I mean? Right. Players that don't get better, hey, I'll speak for you until you don't play for yourself. Like I was speaking for Kenneth Murray because of the bad rap he came in with. I didn't think he had a fair shake, but it's up to you to come out and perform and ball. You don't, that's on you. I can't do nothing about it. So I respect that. Oh, your final word, Lou?
Yeah, my final word is this is a good fight. We all on Team Cowboys and everything like that. Yeah, this was all about. We both passionate about this idea, and everything like that. I think we still do. Of course, I think we still do disagree on a lot of things and everything like that. How the team is built. My whole thing is I don't like the mindset in Cowboy Nation saying this defense is a 2-year project. I don't believe in it at all. It's people you believe you won't.
Are they saying it because in the first year you're laying down the scheme and people they'll know what to do, but they don't kind of understand how they'll be attacked? Automatically, depending on how you go ahead. Let me let you finish your first thought.
The reason why I'm not going to take that as an excuse, we just seen the Patriots get a brand spanking new head coach,
right,
and go to the Super Bowl in 1 year.
By being very aggressive.
Being very aggressive. My thing is, and that can't happen to us. My thing is this: put the best team out there,
right?
And let's play some.
That's all. So you're saying that we don't have to be trash this year?
Yes.
Right. Oh, I agree.
Because
one, you don't have to be trash on defense this year.
Or the person you just
mentioned. I don't think the defense is going to be as great this year as it will be next year, though.
Yes.
But I think we don't have to be trash this year.
Yes.
I want it to be dope.
I don't want a imaginary ceiling because it's the first year.
Oh, it's not.
I hope you understand. We're on a ticking time clock with our quarterback.
That's right.
Father Time is undefeated, and I don't know if y'all ain't watched the games last year, but literally opportunity waits for it's not on schedule. You need to be ready. Like the Patriots were ready. Like did you see the entire playoff all that bad and mediocre quarterback play, and they had great teams, great defenses to carry them to the way. Like I keep bringing this up. I almost seen a game where CJ Stroud turned the ball over 6 times and almost woke up in the AFC Championship game. Yeah. That's my mindset and everything like that. I'm not this is not by accident and everything. So when I say I don't think the pass rush is enough, I want better. Yeah. I don't want to hold anybody back.
Disagree on that at all.
Yeah, I don't
disagree on. Do I want better?
I'm not on anybody's side. on this team. If I could find a quarterback better than Dak tomorrow, he will be on this team. Respectfully.
Right.
That is how I roll. If I can find a receiver
me too.
better than CD tomorrow, that's
Same
just
way.
how I roll. I am not trying to hold these grown millionaire men hand in this shit. This is a football team.
Why you think I was trying to interview him? I was trying to interview him because I don't
where I'm from. I don't know about y'all and y'all kids.
Mm-hmm.
You talk shit, Oklahoma drill, line the cones up, run through a motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's just straight like that. We line it up. You know what I'm saying? And we see who's good. And that's what I want my Dallas Cowboys to do. You have an opportunity to get more in that room. We are not If you Shotty, you said competition prevails. I want to see competition prevails.
It don't prevail. Morris will be on the field if it prevailed, bro. Come on.
You're right.
Man. Morris would have been on the field. Ain't no way you could tell me Shamar James do anything better than Morris Leaf. He don't. But he was on the field.
You can't tell me that. You can't tell Sanborn that. You can't tell me. Shout out to Kenneth Murray.
I'm ready to start the free Morris campaign.
What about Clark? Clark started the season over this bull. That was crazy,
bro.
Damone.
Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? You're right. So
you know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying?
I don't believe that it's meritocracy out here.
I think
it
was competition on the offensive side.
Damone Clark was drinking people donuts. He was kissing babies. He was doing something. There ain't no way you could tell me Damone Clark should have been on the field.
That was Evilflus. You know what I mean? He gone.
That was wild.
He gone. You feel me?
That was wild.
Go ahead.
But I ain't want to cut you off. You know what I mean? I want you to rap. I'm excited. Draft season is coming up. Make sure y'all turn on all notification bells for all Okoye Media, Boss and Lou. So y'all can catch new content like this, and when it comes up, and be ready for part 2. Yeah. Oh, part 2 coming.
No, hold on. Look, that don't mean no videos by you. We supposed to sit down together at the table.
I'm gonna do that too, but I got those videos. We're prepared.
No video.
We're gonna compile all of the data, and then we're gonna decide from there. But so let me just say this, right? I think you were right though. I know it got a little punchy, but technically, I would say you were right about this. Both of you. Do I want to get better at pass rush? Yeah. But what we disagree on is, do I think realistically? You know what I mean? I know I gotta want something, but do I think realistically any of the guys that I think truly will move the needle for us? Because I want Myles Garrett over everybody. But anybody who thinks that they're coming here, I don't think so. That's not me thinking like negative or none of that. I'm just saying, unless there's a scenario or there's a rumor that Jerry got some backdoor deal going that can get one of those guys, I don't think so. I do look at Greenard as a guy that I heard about that I think I would like here over these 4 guys that we put on this list.
Greenard.
Yeah, I like Greenard. He gave us problems before he got hurt in that game against Minnesota. He gave us problems. He was
Sweat gave us problems.
Yeah, we got to get on this film.
Sweat with the
We got to get on this film.
Greenard always gave us problems versus the Eagles. He had.
Thibodeau,
I don't call either one of them.
Thibodeau whoops our ass constantly.
Fuck no.
Thibodeau whoop our ass constantly.
Constantly.
Bruh, that's a fact.
No. That's a fact. That's
Y'all keep talking about Thibodeau like Thibodeau that bull, bro. Thibodeau ain't the bull. He ain't even a man.
He's still daddy.
In your own hood.
He's still daddy.
You know what? It's very possible to see
in your own hood, bro. You ain't even the man in your own hood. How the hell you gonna be the man in ours? Get out of here.
His hood is gangster.
His hood is loaded.
His hood is gangster. You know it. You know that New York got that gangster hood, man. They in Brooklyn,
dog. Man in his own spot. I can't get. But I'm gonna watch the film because I will say there might be confirmation bias. I haven't sat and watched 6 games of Thibodeau nor Greenard. I'm going off of the problem that Greenard caused us last year for Dak when we played him. And Dak was playing at his top level. That's why I named him. Not saying that I watched 6 games. I'm gonna have it.
Was that Grenard or Flores?
No, it was Grenard. It was Grenard.
They was running cover 0. They was sending more than 4 or 5.
Man, y'all go fight on the way out.
You know what? Part 2.
We was in the more than 4 or 5 with Michael Parsons here. We was still getting. So
we gonna do part 2.
Hold on. Let me rap, man, because we was rapping. But like I said, we're gonna get into it. But listen.
I getting too much.
I want this to be a meritocracy too, right? And I look at it like this: like, do I want to get better at pass rush? Yes, that's what I started off saying. Do I think we're gonna get Max Crosby or any of the guys in the top 3? We just had a guy in the top 3, and I think those guys that are up there, would they be better on this team now? Like, if Micah would have stayed here, would he be better in this regime? Would this regime and this scheme make Micah a super mutant? Oh, for sure. I do agree. But he not here, right?
Mhm.
So the same way we got his ass is the same way you're gonna have to get the next one in the draft. And we actually have the same pick, which is 12, right? That's how I look at it because all other options are what ifs. The only guarantee that's in my hand right now is 12 and 20. So that's where we're gonna have to try to find it at. I don't
I
think you're
kind
going
of feel that,
if
but
we
I
was gonna
don't.
find it in free
Go ahead,
agency or in the trade room, I think it would have happened already unless they got something cooking, like I said, that we don't know about. But if it was going to happen, it would have happened. It's not happening. So I think we're going to have to find that in the draft. And the way I think is like a coach. That's how I am. I'm a coach, so I think like one. When I get a bum fighter in front of me, I don't say, I can't do nothing with this bull unless I work with him and I see he can't learn, right? But I look at how can this guy fight? How can I make him better at what he does? And I look at that the same way when I look at this team. When we get a guy, I don't look and say, man, why? Unless he's just trash on the film, I don't say, why we pick this guy up? You know what I'm saying? Unless he's trash on the film. And I look at Gary and I watch this film. I'm not looking at it from a perspective of a Packers fan where I say he didn't get any sacks at the end of the season. I look at it like, well, what was his impact on these games down the stretch? The Packers was a smothering defense. Gary was a part of that. If he was the weak link on that defense, we would have known because the defense was smothering most of the season. So do I think Gary is elite? I don't think Gary elite at all. The argument is not Gary versus Max Crosby. The argument is there ain't no Max Crosby and there ain't no what you said, this ain't no Vista and there ain't no view. It's like that. Like there ain't no Max Crosby coming and there's nobody coming to save us. The only thing we have that's a guarantee is the draft picks. So we're gonna have to make do with that. And that's just the reality that we in right now. But do you got Quentin Williams and Casey in the middle of the field? Are both of those guys difference makers? I think so. And when I look at this is a copycat league, and when I look at what Leonard Williams or Big Cat did and Byron Murphy did last year, I think they think, and I would agree, that we have the equivalent here with Quentin Williams and Kenny Clark. So I think that's what the Cowboys are leaning towards. And when you go and get a DeMarcus Lawrence-ish player like a Gary, they're looking at it like, hey, we got our run-stopping savant and our two penetrating, world-beating, two-gapping, all-world defensive tackles right there. That's the three that they're looking at. That's why I used them as an example because they didn't go premier pass rusher. They don't have one. They went with strength up front, and then they hustled to the ball and affect the quarterback through the A gap, not on the edge. I don't think you don't need to affect the quarterback. I'm not diminishing. Every team that's ever won a Super Bowl since 2000, right? They had to be efficient versus pass. They had to be. But the best way to be efficient versus pass is to make teams unpredictable. So you got to be able to stop the run. No teams, except for two, I said, have won anything without stopping the run. So we already got that. And now I think that's the philosophy, though. But like I said,
hold on. I
gotta respond, Lou.
I would say all those teams they did have great pass rushes production.
Lou, I gotta respond to this though. This is the part that I gotta respond to when you say that you don't feel like it's realistic for us to get one. I do think it's realistic. Hear me out. Because the people that we talked about was people we already did research on that's been rumored to be tradable, or.
You only name one that actually would matter to me though. The other four, I don't think that the other four are.
I hear you, but that's what we're talking about. So I'm talking about, and this is why I said that because the Cowboys offered allegedly a first and a second, next year a second, and then Osa. So if you put that much capital out there for a player, then the rest of the players are not going to require that much capital as a first and a second. So somewhere in that window. Like, for instance, a Thibodeau, with him being in year 5, I can see a third. I can see a third being realistic because that's a rental. And something that, to me, I would want to push us to be aggressive on. I would also want you to, when you get a chance, you can do your film search and we can then come to the table. You can tell us why he asked so great. You feel me? But if you see the upside on him, I'm saying we should be aggressive because I don't trust a rookie. I don't trust that. I don't trust getting the guy in Dak's year 3 window. He probably got 3 of his best years left. Most of these edges take about 3 years before they hit maturity. I wouldn't want us to invest in a guy that's going to be like a Donovan as a Raku, where year 1, 2 sacks. Like you said, what did Sweat do year 1, right? You named off about 3 or 4 people that had, year 1. So I don't want to give that to a rookie. I want to give that to a vet. That's my slight pushback to what you said, but everything else I rock with you on.
Right.
100%.
Speaking of year ones and pressures and sacks, though, one thing that we didn't mention, and we are in a 3-4 now, that does change things. Don't look at just last year. Let's look at his entire body. Other than his injury proneness, Demo from the middle was a problem his rookie year.
He dope.
8
Oh, yeah.
sacks and pressures galore, tackles for loss, everything, right? So you can create
That
what I
was
mean.
his year too, though.
That was his year too. Okay. But either way, he was getting sacks galore. You know what I mean?
He was dope. No, he was dope.
So in the 3-4, he's
doubt.
only gonna get better at that because he is gonna be a guy that's firing from the middle from time to time. So I just think that with the guys that we have in front of them and those those edges or those outside linebackers, we can generate pressure in a myriad of ways. I do think we can do it. You can't disrespect and disregard Quentin Williams, Akbo, and Kenny Clark. When those guys are up there, you got to block them. So you're not blocking the safety or the linebackers that are blitzing from the middle either. So I don't want to keep going with the rap because we're gonna keep making points and keep going. I know you got things to do, brother. I will say this, Lou. You know what I mean? I spar all the time, bro. Like I said, I shake guys' hands who punch me in the face. I actually take their number. This is how I do it, bro. So you know what I mean? Don't think I take anything you say personal. I hope you don't take anything I say personal. Because if it's personal, we're not gonna be online. I'm gonna call you. Or I'm gonna be like, where I'm catching the plane to? Look, you know what I'm saying? So it ain't that. Like, you know what I mean? Everything I'm saying is just strictly football. So take it that way, I hope. You know what I mean? Boss know the way I am. Me and Boss met arguing. You know what I mean?
For real.
For real. So that's what it is.
I met a Koye.
Yeah, that's what
everybody arguing. It would sound like it.
Yeah. I ain't arguing bull though. It's just like like you said, you the 1 versus 3,000 kind of bull. I've been that since I came in.
I've seen you. You know,
I don't be trying to.
Kenneth Murray.
They don't agree with it. Kenneth Murray, they made him my pet project because they kept trying to blame him for shit that he wasn't doing. I said, well, I don't mind saying what he did if he did it. But when he ain't do it, I'm not gonna say he did it. I'm not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? That's all. But I appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, man. And, to part 2. Look forward to it. Let's rock, man. Good fight.
Let's do it. Y'all name the time, and like I said, I'll give it. It's only gonna take me like a day or 2 to get my film work done. I'm starting tonight, so
I do.
You let me. I ain't going nowhere. I'm be sitting in front of this computer right after turning shit off, man. So you let me know. You let me know when y'all ready, and then we rock it because I'm rolling. Let's go. All right. Talk to y'all soon, man. Talk to y'all soon. Peace. I ended this.